That's an excellent question.
Really.
And here's hoping that all these mysterious questions will be answered tonight.
Next time on Dungeons and Dragons.
Dude, I bet he has a diary. Read it.
I'll bet you expect too much of me. That said, though, my man Shawnee Gunn, how you doing there, sir?
What's going on, buddy?
I rely on you for a very specific service. I rely on you for a very specific favor. I would like you to ply this favor upon us now.
Alright, here we go. So we first came into the last session for 50 miles to Dashadjen.
Dashadjen.
We are entering a valley. There's a huge truck rolling behind us with a big figure hanging on the side of it waving a club. Orion drops a grenade, takes a cold shot, both of them miss, to nobody's surprise. Laz tries to pose a distraction and manages to miss hitting a giant fucking cliff with a cannon. Bus pulls up alongside of us. The big guy floats the first leap but makes the second onto the bus. Orion gets in the first cut, and then Laz lands his first swing, but Crit fails the second. Womp womp. Barry pokes up through the hatch and casts Scorching Ray on the dude's crotch and hits with two of them. Bjorn hooks himself to the ballista, gets the halberd out with booming blade and lands a huge hit. Sork is behind Bjorn with the meat stick, saves the meat, chuck the chaplain, and misses, sending it sailing. Both throw Scorching Rays, makes a big hit, and that cooks the giant. Ryan fires up the ballista and misses. Laz wants to fire the cannon, but there's a bunch of bodies in the way while Barry holds his breath. Bjorn loads up the ballista and takes a shot, makes a hit. Sork tries to fire up the spear, but instead switches over, fires up an arrow, hits the driver and flinches, but holds it steady. Mo lights up the ass end of the truck, splattering the storage in the truck, an explosion, metal shards, sand, cloud, and then debris coming off the truck, and all hell breaks loose. Laz is partially blinded, Mo is down and sliding off the bus. The other bus has a gunner mounting the top, and he hits the battle bus for a little bit of damage. But a freaking worm comes up and he eats the other bus. Little worms pop out of the sand. Orion takes to the skies. Laz muscles the cannon. Barry does a quick fix on the bus. Sork gets a swarm of arrows ready and gets steady with the bow. Bjorn raises a ballista and grabs a drink of water. I don't know why I have that in my lid. Mo uses his spell to clear his eyes and hops inside to grab a potion. Oh shit, another worm pops up on the right. The worm tries to grab Sork, misses and gets hit by a few of the arrows in the storm, and then goes back into the sand. The other worm in front gets on the bus, grabs Bjorn, but gets hit by arrows as it passes. Orion in the sky takes a shot at the worm and hits. Laz tries to make sushi. Barry's coming up to the roof, but he has to get past the worm. Barry wields the wrench of justice expertly with green flame blade for a little extra razzle-dazzle and does 13 points of damage. Bjorn summons the Spirit Guardians, who are terrible, but they do some damage. Sork lights up the worm, but not quite dead, and with a second shot, he buries it. Another ship comes out of the smoke. It's the Draegers. They're hanging back and just following the town. We make it to the city. I have stone tiles, past concrete, solid surfaces, glistening pools of water, lots of houses, crushed stone road. Barry hears Rico humming. The engines are chugging hard, and Barry notes the issues with the engine. Need to fix the cannon, armor, engine. We win the first leg, but Draegor made it too easy. The other competitors make it in. The worm flies into the square, and we pull into a spot. A big party gets thrown, food, drinks, fun. Penis Mobile did not make it, though. The Draegors leave by. Reach official comes by, gets the info. We hear a voice, want to know why he's being accosted. It's the Pasha with Mansoor. Mo goes out shopping, but everyone basically there. Pasha is pumped, but the Rico goes missing again. We get handed a ticket to go cash this in. Pasha comes over, grabs tickets, 500 platinum for the first place in the leg. Sork is making dinner of the worm. Barry and Laz fix the cannon. Bjorn and Orion go off the Pasha, look for Rico, and Mo found a visor. Oh, for his eyes, yeah.
Yeah, he found himself some goggles.
Yeah. The boys with Pasha get barrel bombs for 100 gold apiece. 2 days to the next leg. We got to reinforce the cannon. It's going to take 8 hours, 4 hours for the steel, so I think it was 9 hours in total. In line for falafel, and the Pasha makes an offer to invest his winnings. To invest our winnings. We try to get food, get some pitas. Pasha splits the winnings, $300 platinum per person, split 200 by 8, plus Pasha and Mansoor. So take a quarter, 60 gold piece, and invest the rest. That's for Laz. Orion's go back, pick a fight with the elves. He slaps a chick. The elves threaten the team. Someone has to go find Rico. That's just a side note that I have on there. We ask around people who've seen him. They end up going in circles. Orion hits up the orphanage with no luck. Orion heads to the biggest party for the racers, sees a bum pulling something out of the bin, heads over and finds pieces of Rico in the bin. Bjorn investigates something with a name on it. Udwin Bordlow, and or Bordello or something like that, and it's half Calshite lingo. They find his signet ring and his necklace, and that is where we ended. Everyone took 600 experience.
Fabulous, thank you, sir. I want to say, gosh, where to open up? Well, I know exactly where to open up. So you say this, you find this out there, it land on your van. The old man looks at Sorth, looking him up and down, trying to kind of mimic the cocking of his head as he is busily counting out coin in an effort to buy chunks of the worm from you. He's been eyeing you up for the last little while and has just recently picked up the bravery enough to speak to you. And as he stares at his reflection in your glistening scales, looking up and down at the worm, you can see a decent-sized purse, but what he seems to be pulling out are copper and silver.
How big is this guy?
He himself is relatively diminutive. He's an older fellow. He's dressed in decent garb. His entourage is comprised of 2 bodyguards, sort of. They look more like just, muscle after a fashion, but they are armed. And then on top, there's a pair of not laborers, but just aides. It looks like.
And they pretty much don't have anything else on it that I can see that's like valuable other than money.
Correct. You're also in the middle of like the race paddocks, eh?
Okay.
So there's just everybody all around. You can see officials walking back and forth. There's mechanics working on the various vehicles and whatever paddock adjacent to you guys.
Like I said last time, old man, the worm's mine.
He counts out several other coins. Please, you must. This delicacy is difficult to come by. What name your price? Here, I give you 50 silver per pound of this flesh.
Ooh, how many pounds of worm do I have?
1,000? 2,000?
Jesus.
I mean, it's not all good edible meat. The head has a lot of delicacy bits. You imagine things like the brain, eyeballs, that sort of jazz. The teeth themselves might go for a decent price, but no one's really looked into this. This is the first encounter you personally have had with pricing out this worm in any fashion, to my recollection anyhow. The only thing I knew of the worm personally, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you were hacking it up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, so as you've been busily making and storing steaks of it, and they're turning out fine. I mean, it is thick, muscular flesh. It seems like it'd be a bit tough, so, you're going to have to tenderize it in some fashion.
Okay, I'm gonna have to beat it with a broom. I'm just gonna, take out my dagger and slice off a couple pounds.
Okay. He
And
has this elated look in his eyes as they widen and light up, and he snaps his fingers for one of the aides, who quickly rushes over and starts undoing his robe to reveal a bag inside. And from that bag, he sifts and pulls out another bag, and from within that bag, he's got a bunch of parchmenture, and he quickly takes the meat from you and starts trying to hand you the coins almost immediately. How much do you give him? Just 10 pounds?
yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. He gives you 500 silver, which equates to 50 gold.
Take your meat and go.
Yeah, yes, thank you, Effendi. He says the words hesitantly, but says them all the same. As he bows away and walks off, his aides and everything following in, he hands the bag off to one and they disappear into the crowd.
I'm gonna kind of move the worm in a less open area so no more people keep trying to bite off me.
Okay, that's fine. As the camera pans against you, showing you angrily shoving the thing out of sight, it pans against the bus as we see sparks fly off, showing Barium and Laz, I think it was, working away on it. I'm not sure who else was working on the bus, if anybody else.
I think it was just us two.
Okay, so you guys are busily going at that. That's fine. And from there, it was Orion and... Sorry, where was... Mo was doing the shopping, and then you were going back to the shop. Mo?
Yeah, I went shopping for a visor to attach to my helmet.
Okay, and then... So coming back to the shop, do you have anything else that you want to do, or are you going to pitch in on repairing the van?
I'm 12 years old. What am I going to do to repair that?
I have no idea.
I could,
In the way.
You tell me.
I can make explosive, I guess.
I mean, really, you could do any sort of menial labor. Stir something, hold something, gopher duties, that sort of thing.
Annoying kid will do annoying stuff. I'm gonna go bother Barry and Laz.
Alright. That said, you guys are working away on that, and then Bjorn, were you with Orion? No, it was just Orion.
No, I was with him.
Okay. Perfect then. So, as I said, we got 3 of you working away on the bus. As the camera pans against you guys, showing the reflections of the sparks flying off of the various bits of metal that you are fusing together. Rebuilding frame as necessary for the gun in a sort of time lapse as the sun rises and sets over, or slowly rises up and gets blistering hot overhead during the course of 8 hours. What's the next target? Well, actually, you know what? We'll leave that for now. As that happens... Okay, come on, Zoom. Get that the fuck out of my way. Get lost. Oh, for fuck.
Oh,
Okay.
I want to clarify that I'm not actually helping them. I'm just being annoying.
Okay, that's totally helpful. Thank you. Or rather not. Hey. But that said, yeah. We're just gonna go like this, and then look at this. Hang on. Order of operations. Oops. Hello. No, that's incorrect. The camera pans down against you, showing your shocked faces, and as you're side by side, and it cuts in on Orion's face, and it shows the reflection of the pieces. Just for a brief, awkward moment, then it cuts in on Bjorn's face, and it shows the reflection of the pieces in your eyes. And then finally it just pulls in back, it cuts to behind you guys as it slowly lifts up and over to show the mess inside the dumpster. And it's a terrible thing. As the bum rushes away in the distance, the camera pans around to show the 2 of you standing sidelong with the dumpster.
You know, we cannot let them get away with this.
No. We should gather the rest of our crew. I could use a potion, and then we need to remind the Dragors why we aren't to be messed with.
As you look at the tattered piece of parchmenture in your hand, blood-stained as it is, you recognize it to be, in fact, actually, you know what? You don't recognize shit about it until you throw me an investigation or an insight perception at the very least.
I'll do an insight.
Let's hear about it.
25.
As you look it over, you notice it is made of a stiffer, sort of folded over parchment. That parchment that's been folded over several times to make it stiffer. It is tattered and bloodstained for the fact of just whatever happened. It does say upon it, Godwin's Bordello, as near as you can make out from the letters, which, as you look it over, you're fairly sure that's exactly what it's saying. It seems to be, you would assume, a receipt/pass.
What does it say?
Godwin's Bordello, whatever that is. I think we need to ask around and find this place. It looks like it's a pass for something.
I agree. It'd be best if we did some investigating sooner rather than later. And if the pasha finds out about this, before we have any results or answers, he will be quite upset.
I agree. We need to gather the rest of the crew as quickly as possible.
Well, perhaps I can speak to my associates in the city here, in the underground world, and see if they know anything about this. I can meet you back in front of this establishment, and we can regroup as a party, and I'll see what I can uncover.
Why don't you take this letter and meet us back at the bus? I'm sure we'll need to gather our equipment there.
Very well, my friend. Okay, I will do this. Stay safe. Stay on your toes. Stay in the open that people can see you.
This will be avenged.
It must. This is the second one of our crewmates that has suffered in the fate of these Dracos.
The third, yes.
Yes, exactly.
But who's keeping count these days? I mean, shit.
Right. I always forget about Matt.
I can barely remember his full name anymore.
I do remember that beak, though. That beak was something else, yes. Very well. Anyways, let us forget about the lost for now. We will remember them when the time is right. But now we must avenge this. Bond.
Every time you say we must, the camera does like a different angle and super zooming close up on you in ridiculous dramatic fashion to go with your over the top acting. I just want to point out the director's on point with you. 100%.
Just really shooting the scenery.
100%. So with that said, you guys make your way away from there, yes?
Yeah.
Terrific
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm gonna head back to the bus, and I believe Orion was gonna go ask around about this Bordello.
All right.
I'm going to try and contact the Thieves Guild in town here and see if they've heard anything about this place.
All right, I'm down with that.
Involved with it. Either the Thieves Guild or any kind of shady.
No, for
business
sure.
in town here.
I would like you. Sorry, I'm just looking up a name here.
Yeah, no worries.
Perfect. Go ahead and throw me an investigation, or it will be a charisma and proficiency check, and this is going to be you working the cant through town.
Okay, charisma.
Hmm.
So would that just be a charisma roll, or what's the proficiency?
Yeah, the proficiency being that you have the thieves' cant. You're a thief, right?
Oh,
Yeah, you're a thief. You have the thieves'
yeah, I
cant.
have Thieves can, yeah.
You know, I could make
Okay,
it a persuasion check, but it doesn't really feel like a persuasion check so much so to me. More just you work your skills.
Okay. So I rolled a 21 with charisma.
All right. You happen to make contact with a couple different groups. It shows a little montage of you making your way around Dashadjen. There's a lot of activity going on all over the place, but it's kind of a half sepia colored tone as you're walking. It shows you going from this place to that place, moving from shadows, moving out in the public, but slipping between peoples, making your way finally from one group that meets you in this alleyway to that group that meets you on a sort of dock, if you will, but instead of water, it's open sand, obviously, and there's these, there'll be elephants and these massive, long-legged, spindly creatures that have seating all around them, same as the elephants. So it's like there's those and then these massive things over here, and then finally the Draeger's ship, and then another ship after that, and then a couple other regal vehicles, multi-wheeled or treaded and what have you. And it shows like all of that, and then just tiny you talking amidst a couple guys surrounded by a bunch of crates and boxes as you're like kind of doing this sort of thing, right? And then somebody flips a coin. You flip them a coin as you walk away, and they banter about and give each other nods as you're walking off. And so this kind of repeats loosely over the thing as you meet with a couple different groups around the place. And before long, you've established that there's effectively two groups in town. Sorry, just literally looking up the other one here was right. The Crimson Horn and God, that was a terrible name. Really, did I come up with that? I don't like that name at all. Crimson Horn and the Sandmasters. And so the Sandmasters themselves are a smaller group that you end up meeting a couple of their members. They're loosely knit, as they call themselves, and they just kind of bind together when necessary. They're not so much a formal union, but the Crimson Horn very much is, and they run most of the gambling that goes on around most of the organized crime-based gambling that goes on around Dashadjen. They'll have their hands in it somehow, and they are known for offering protective services here and there where the Sandmasters do not. With that said, what did you roll for your check again? Total? It was double digits.
For the charisma check?
Yeah.
It was 21 total.
Yeah, 21 total. Okay, terrific. Yeah, it was a really good roll. The Sandmaster's head. Sorry, the Sandmaster's head. Sorry. As we were saying, the Sandmaster's leader, a fellow by the name of Gong, is a massive, rotund fellow, bald and muscled, but you can see he's like sumo muscled, and he's huge. Human, although with the gray skin, you almost wonder if he's not half Goliath or ogre or giant or something. When I say huge, I mean he's got to be about 8 feet tall, though he's still human. With that said, he sits the whole time that you arrive looking like just a gigantic fucking Buddha. And he welcomes you with a simple gesture and a hum as you arrive upon. And there's it's a quick interaction, actually. It's over before you even realize it. And you're walking out as one of the nearby aides there gives you a small piece of parchmenture that simply says upon it, Fuzul, Atranash. And the aide says, "This is the man who lead the Crimson Horn. He is the man you seek."
Excellent. I will be meeting with this man, Ozulu, very soon. I appreciate your help, and give my regards to your leader. I appreciate it.
You look over towards the massive Buddha as you say this, and Gong simply gives another gesture like this in a firm. As you leave it, as you leave the large, dark, throned area of the warehouse back into the city streets, making your way towards the directions given you. They gave you directions as well. They're like, you want to head this way. And they tell you that he's basically got a compound on the other side of town that is, in fact, nearby the docks, if you will. And it's from there he's got a squat 3-story sort of quasi tower. That said, as you have this information in hand, you head directly there to speak with him. You've been at this now for about 3 hours.
And this is just the informant, right? This isn't like, this is just the Crimson Horn leader. He probably has some information for me, right?
The folks at, well, you haven't even been to the bordello yet, but,
yeah, I'm just making sure, like, this is leading to the bordello.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. This isn't leading to the bordello at all.
Okay.
You've been tracing, sorry, what are you investigating upon? You wanted to find the, you go to the one organization and they tell you this is where the other organization is. That's what we've established so far. So you were asking about the different criminal organizations.
Right.
So you've been at this for about 3 hours. You still haven't been to the bordello. Do you want to keep going and meeting the next guy? Actually, sorry. I'm rushing you through this. Did you have anything? You met with Gong, and I was just like, yeah, here's the other guys too. You meet with Gong, the leader of the Sandmasters, as I said, coming in upon a darkened sort of throne room. I totally fucking skipped this part. The second thing is, stretching away from you, there's a Buddha at the one end. As I said, he looks like a goddamn Buddha. And he greets you in. As he does this, do you have any questions for him? He just basically, like I say, he greets you in. There's a bunch of aides around. You can see a couple dudes lounging about with swords and ladies nearby. A couple ladies with swords and dudes nearby, so to speak.
Oh, Master Gone. I have traveled across the deserts through the Trevor Sands with my crew, and something has befallen us. Our pilot of our vessel has been murdered, cold-blooded. Cold-blooded murder, and we are trying to determine who did this so we may seek justice in one form or another. So I ask of you, do you know anything about Godwin's Bordello, or have you heard anything to the whispering of the vines of anyone who may have sought out a pilot named Rico?
The massive form kind of just sits there a brief second, looking you up and down, breathing steadily, and then gives a gesture for one of the aides to come over. He does. The fellow whispers in his ear, mutters quietly, and after a moment, the fellow looks towards you and says, sorry, hang on, I'm totally gapping on what the guy's fucking name is. He says, Master Horisto says to you, our business with this establishment is limited. However, we do provide some protective services to the ladies of the bordello. At which point the Buddha form goes,
Very well, okay. So, are they to be trusted?
The fellow regards you, like the Buddha regards you at this question, and then the aide looks at him and then looks at you and says, yes.
Very well. Well, I know my pilot and my friend is there this eve, before he was murdered. But perhaps I shall take my search there, and I will ask of their help.
You watch as the aides pulled in towards the Buddha, and the Buddha, his mouth's moving, his voice unheard. A moment later releases the aide as the aide looks at you and says, "You come highly regarded, Kraken of Sand. You have much credibility in this city for having won the first leg of the great race, yes? My master Horisto, he would wish to ask a favor."
I am all ears. The Sand Kraken is always open to helping those of the Kraken's fleet.
The aide nods at this and looks over towards the Buddha form, who simply gives a nod at this. And at which point the aide looks at you and says, "Excellent then. My master is pleased. And that is all. If there are no more questions." He gestures over to the left, and there's a buffet of food and wine and whatnot. Beyond that, there's a pool, people lounging in it. And this is all in just like a nondescript warehouse. But long and the short, the guards at the back of the chamber behind the Buddha form jostle and move about somewhat in their patrols as you stand there idly. What do you do? You've got the directions all the same.
I really can't stay long, but I do wish to discuss this business with you over a meal and a drink, perhaps.
The aide simply gives a nod and says, "Our home is your home away from home, Kraken of the Sand."
I understand.
How long do you spend there?
I'm just gonna spend I'm gonna be pretty brief, like an hour maybe maximum. Like I know that there's more important stuff, but I also know.
Roll wisdom save.
What's that?
Roll wisdom save.
Okay. That's a good call, actually. Come on, baby. 13.
The temptation is hard. Times go by so quickly, and memories flood back as the first drink hits your lips, and the first woman sultrily makes her hand upon your flesh. It's fast acting. And one of the fellows nearby gives you a laugh and looks at the drink in your hand and says something in Kalashite that you're not quite sure of, but you're pretty sure it translates to cactus juice. As colors swirl past your vision and the woman starts to do things and your heart rate starts to increase, you find yourself being dragged into the water. Food is brought about, people laughing and telling jokes. Time slips away. You catch yourself. How long's it been? You think to yourself. You look around. People, you know them, you don't know any of these people. Where are you? How, you're wet, you're dry, I mean, you're clothed, you're missing your pants. It's been a few hours. It's been a few hours. Horisto is still sitting where he's always been sitting. And you're now across the space, if you will. The pool is to your right. The buffet is to your left. There's still people here. A lot of the same sorts of people. It's a good time. Was a good time. It was a good time. You're full and empty. And you should probably go. But you feel great. You take 6 temporary hit points. But it's also cost you 3 hours. Just gone.
I appreciate your excellent hosting of me and the excellent assortment of food and drink and company. And yes, if there's anything I can do for you, I will surely be open to assisting you if you have need of a favor.
There's no more aids being pulled in. The fellow simply gives a slow nod at this. What you do notice though is he does actually make a gesture. He does one of these, and you can hear at the back of the chamber this sudden and unmistakable drawing of a door open. And that did not carry out. There you go. Light filters into the chamber. Such uninvited and opposing light. The camera pans away from you as you make your way off the seat you're on, which happens to be a pile of people. As you make your way towards the door, the light washing over you, purifying for sure, at least burning away something. Out into the light you go, putting your pants on as you do. I'm assuming. I mean, you don't have to. I'm just filling that in.
Yeah, no, definitely. I get out of there. Like,
I mean, you're in control, but I'm just assuming this is what you do. Yes. You fill in.
Definitely, it's time to go.
Right on.
I got some information, you know. Yeah. So.
As the camera pans in towards Gong Horisto, the Buddha of the Sandmasters, panning in upon his darkened face in this darkened chamber as he stares upon everybody else reveling in his wealth. He looks to his aide and simply gives a one of these. And the camera pans in close towards as he looks towards the door closing upon you. And he says to his aide, "Awkward." The camera cuts to show you making your way towards the squat 3-story tower in the distance. As it kind of shows a sidelong that suddenly appears, like it just does a split line, ever so Quentin Tarantino awkward-like. And let me see if I can get this. Come on, don't fail me. No, yes. No, almost. Had it so close. There it is. The camera cuts from you to pan back in upon Barium, Laz, and now Mo too, as there's a brief montage of Barium working as hard as he can with Laz to avoid Mo's annoyances as Mo moves back and forth, taking tools out from under, or moving things where they ought not be, or just ignoring him, showing Barium yelling after him, blah, blah, blah. While this is occurring, of course, the whole time through, what do we got? We got everybody doing their best, working hard on the machine, the montage of such carrying as hard as it can, with like cuts and whatnot, all masculine style, sparks flying everywhere, the bus is vibrating, shit's getting worked on, we're getting her done. And with that said, though, what is next on Barium's list of shit that he's got to do?
Didn't we take a hit on the armor?
You took many. You got a decent little pelting there. So you can work together to take care of all the dings and dents and restore hit points upon the bus. And in doing so, and to do so, everyone's making a team effort. That is Laz making a strength check for moving plates. Mo, you can make a choice here, honest to God. You can cause detriment upon, or you can help out. It's your call. But we'll get to that bridge in a moment. In Barium's case, though, you're making me an intelligence plus proficiency check to direct the labors and make this shit happen.
Roll a 22 plus 3 at 25.
Jesus. All right.
Damn near perfect.
I am good with an all but complete overhaul. That is to say, if Laz doesn't cock it up, you're at full hit points.
No pressure, Laz.
I got you, Bill.
Whenever he gets back. I'll be back with a drink after these messages.
One of these times I gotta get absolutely plastered during a session.
What's up, Bill?
So he said it's all on you, Laz.
Well, on you.
I rolled a 19 plus 3 and then plus 3 proficiency, so
If you roll badly, you're all down, by the way. So
yeah.
Oh, this is fun. All right, what am I rolling for here? I took a
You said-
quick run to go. Did you guys not get the message? I was like, oh, I gotta grab a drink and shake hands with the man while everyone was still talking.
He said a strength for like carrying plates and stuff.
All right, so
Fix up the armor.
a saving throw or a strength, just straight
I
check.
think you just said strength.
Yeah, strength check on Laz's part. Sorry, strength and proficiency. It should be strength and proficiency. That's fine.
Strength check on smacking mode.
Yeah, not so good. I get a 9.
Really?
6
Strength-
plus 3.
Strength and proficiency?
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's...
Ugh. That is.
Well, no, I know. The proficiency would have added 3 more on top of that, so it would have been 12.
That's not
Hold
terrible.
on, don't I have advantage on strength checks? Isn't that?
I mean, if you're raging, are you angry at the
my
word?
last cheat sheet here. I gotta find out.
But I will say,
Reckless attack, danger sense. That's dex saving throws. Attack twice. No, I am wrong.
that's not terrible.
Which
Oh,
ones are?
no. Here's a question. Did I go into a rage because of what Mo was doing? If I went into a rage, I have advantage on a strength check. Just saying.
You-
How effective was Mo's annoyance?
Do you smack him?
You allowed 22 HP, so I hope you don't hit me too hard.
You tell me. If there's child abuse involved, I mean, we'll get rolling here. I mean, we got some game. But if we're not beating kids, then fucking, I mean, I'm just not
Are
satisfied.
you
Sorry.
doing anything?
Like, really now? What kind of parenting are you doing here?
Follow spells. I want to inspire him on that strength roll.
With this
That's
ability, I take the 2 bucks and I turn it upside down. Is that good enough for you to get that? Just dump out all your tools on the ground.
I mean, this is going to Barry because I'm just here to move stuff. Like
Yeah, and that's just it.
I-
That's why I was like not worried about it. And you guys were just falling all over each other. Like, I can do this. No, it's all good. You rolled fine, Barium. Rolled fine and dandy, and then you rolled fine for Karen Shadin. Now the question is, what's Mo doing? You fucking him over?
That's the real question.
I got this. Choose heads or tails. Rick.
Tails.
I'm gonna sabotage your shit. Okay. So let's say I use a little bit of my magic to maybe unscrew a few stuff. Maybe like melt a little bit of the side off. Just a little bit.
Melt a little bit of the side off. What are you even talking about?
Yeah.
Help me out here. Make me understand this. What melting side off what?
Watch what you do.
You know how
Dude.
he's applying the plates, right? To the
Hey, get a picture, bro.
What's it? Right?
Yeah.
Bro, do you
Yeah,
have an
so
axe
I
dick?
heat it enough for it to just weaken and maybe like go loose.
How are you doing this?
Applying it to the edges.
No, how are you doing this?
Oh, I'm gonna hit it with a spell, firebolt.
That's gonna make a lot of noise, kid. I mean, honestly, like 12-year-old kid firebolting the side of the battle bus is gonna be obvious.
Alright, okay, how about this? I grab a torch and I use control flames to slowly heat it up.
All right, I'm done with that. All right, so it's about I guess 5-10 minutes of this before you start to have an effect like you're hoping for to slag where the plating is connected to the frame. And then so
Barium see this?
that's a good question. I mean, at the time, Laz and Barium are on the outside of the bus applying plating to the other side, I'm imagining, while this kid's inside burning the connections off the frame on the inside. So that sucks. So you guys are mounting it on the outside at the moment, and then you'll come in to like weld it on the inside. So it's kind of an issue.
I got you guys covered. I'm already welding it for you, kind of.
So he's kind of melting off your welds, is what it is, which sucks. Slowly sabotaging them. Now, he doesn't have enough time to undo all the welds on a whole plate. Just enough time to undo a couple on a couple. But steady as she goes, you do the thing. And with that said, it takes you about 20 minutes to do so. During which, I mean, Laz and Barium are working outside the bus doing what they do.
After I'm done, I'm gonna pretend to be sleeping.
In the bus?
No, just like sneak away and then sleep like nearby, but
Roll me stealth. Roll me stealth.
Plus, I'm in stealth. Hopefully, I don't. Let's go. We got 21 now.
Nat 20 with a 1?
Math.
Math 21. Alright. So that's going to beat any passive perceptions. You guys are busy working on the bus and you don't see the kid fuck off. With that said, you guys finished mounting the plates. What is Barium's passive perception?
It's dog shit number 9.
Oof. Jesus. How about you, Laz?
Laz has a 13 passive perception.
Well, here's the thing. You don't know shit about the welds, but you kind of do. You definitely know the smell of them. And although Barium has a shitty perception, so he just doesn't notice it, but you will notice that it smells of welds in there. But you guys haven't been welding in there for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'll reach out and put my hand to the, if we're inside now at this point, just kind of put my hand on the wall and be like, something's wrong here, Barry.
Why does it smell in here? We haven't been here in a long time.
Did Sork take a shit again?
No, it's not that.
The camera does a slow pan around the place, showing the two engines situated at either end of the drivetrain. It shows the cab entryway. It shows the bit of a stepladder leading upwards. Shows the two of you standing there, wondering what's going on. Why do you feel tense? And as the camera pans against the hole of the outside of the bus and shows one of the plates suddenly slip and fall away, clattering and crashing to the ground, you realize, wait a minute, you've still got to weld on the ones that you just mounted.
Oh, shit, we had a lot of work to do, Les.
With that said, you guys made your roll for replacing plates, so the story would go that you continue doing so. Continuing on, replacing all the plates, and of course, regaining full hit points. And you do still have full hit points. You actually absolutely have completely full hit points right now on the bus. No question about it whatsoever. Don't you worry.
Nice.
Alright.
With that said,
Did we also, I think on the work order list, I think we were supposed to be reinforcing the cannon. Like the cannon mount, remember it got all jacked up?
that was the first thing. That was the first thing that got tackled. Yeah, that was the 8 hours in the beginning. What else is there, actually? I'm curious myself.
And the engine was making noise, right?
Ah.
You have a better memory than I.
Well, we need the half-naked halfling to put inside the engine to figure out what's going on. Because I'm just going to point out, at no point did Orion say he put on pants.
Cody,
before
stop
he
looking at your
left.
cryptos and pay attention to the game.
Hence why Gong was like awkward as the little half-naked man went wandering out of his place, like, man, buddy.
Shit happens when you drink cactus juice.
Yeah.
I put them on,
We've all been
but
there.
as I was going out. So, like, you know, it's a spiritual journey.
Yeah, especially a spear part.
Just a quick question, Sorth. You finished with your fucking steaks, bro. What are you doing? You got pieces and you got steaks. You got meat and you got everything else. And there's a lot of everything else. There really is. There's teeth. There's the brain. There's eyes. There's fucking you name it. There's digestive sacs. There's the bladder. There's fucking every organ that a worm shouldn't have in this thing. Okay.
Can I,
It's got 18 stomachs. Sorry,
yeah,
what?
that's actually what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to like bag some of it and ship it over to Kurgit so he can use it and sell it.
You don't know where Kurgit is. Where are you sending it? Don't you remember? He's traveling.
Oh yeah, right.
He said he'd
crap.
run into you at some point. I hope to see you, my friend.
Lizards have bad memories.
It's all good. It's a smaller brain. Very, very focused mind. Very focused mind.
Yeah, pretty primal here. Kurgit who?
Meanwhile, he's like, my reptilian friends. So to be mammalian. Anyway. Actually, he's
alright,
both.
so at this point, I guess I'm just gonna start awkwardly loading the bus with it all. Because I was I'm gonna try to fit it all in.
Fucking hey.
Pounds of teeth.
Fucking hey. That is gonna smell
You wonder why Lance,
amazing.
like, this sort of shit here. Like, what's that smell?
Holy shit.
The
Alright.
standing on top of the bus
What's that?
for way too long.
I think my rotten sack of meat, yeah, I can throw that out now and replace it with some of this stuff. I don't know if there's gonna be room for you guys in there now.
It's gonna slow the bus down.
No, we can throw it at the other guys. We'll throw it at the enemy.
We're trying to do worse.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I do remember that being like, hey, the engines were chugging a little bit there. That was kind of pointed out.
So, I just want to point out that if that's what Sorth is doing, then fucking great. The front half actually, as you guys come in to look upon, like, you know what? No, it's gonna be after you guys are done with the welding and shit. So you're getting to that now. We'll get to what I'm laughing about in a bit. But in the meantime, you're doing that. That's gonna happen. That's great. So you store it in there. Right on, man. That's what you should do. Fucking pieces of it, just, well and stored. Now, how does Source store stuff? I'm curious, honestly. Like,
You kind of just piles it.
okay.
It's more like
Kind of piles it, organizedly piles it, chaotically piles it, or just kind of piles it?
He piles like the edible stuff and then the stuff that's less edible.
Okay, I got you. Are teeth edible in any fashion?
No, see, they're dangerous. They can cut me up.
That's fair. Okay, and that's bone as well, I'm assuming?
Yeah, bone.
Do you
That's
keep
like
the
my
bone?
favorite
Do you
stuff.
keep the bone?
I can... No, chicken bone, cow bone, but not worm bone.
The worm bones are huge. I mean, we're talking like this thing was one giant ribbon thing.
Nah, I think I'll use that to build like a hut or something later.
So you are keeping it or not?
You know what? No, we'll leave it.
All right.
Arian's not gonna like this.
No, he's not, and it's gonna smell amazing. But we're gonna get to that in a minute. In the meantime, you guys finish welding on the last of your plates, full hit points all around. And at that point, you're kind of like, at the same time that they're finished welding, for whatever reason, other than my convenience, not at all, is you finish, carving up and packaging and whatnot your steaks, and begin to move shit into the bus, whilst, where were we? Sorry, gapping on what you guys were doing next there. Barium, you were gonna...
Have I made it back yet?
Just about. Yes. In fact, you would have made it back an hour ago. Yes. No. You guys, the town isn't even that big. You guys would have made it back like 2 hours ago, technically. But they're busy. You know, they're working on shit. And you're going to interrupt them? I mean, would you really know? As they're making the last of the plates appear, I guess the distraction being that, yeah, Mo is doing his thing while you guys appear there. That timing works out all right. Why not? Sure, let's go with that. Because you guys were searching for however long while you were working on, and then some odd hours while Orion is out, and you would have made your way back, and it takes you about, let's say, 40 minutes to cross town. Yeah, so that works. So about like 2 hours, 20 minutes ago, while these guys are still working on the thing, finishing out the plates, which I assume we'd want to do before we continued on, while Orion is doing his thing. He's 2 hours out from, so the timing would work out that way, that is to say. So that works for me. So you will be back and informing them of this 2 hours and 20 minutes ago, that is to say about 40 minutes into, 40 minutes into them mounting the new plates.
Okay. I'll,
That music is just wrong. Sorry. Shut up, music. Anyway, so you show up upon the place, as we were.
yeah, I'm gonna walk straight over to them, and, I let them know to, finish your work quickly. Our helmsman's dead. Once you're done, gather your weapons, Orion will be back soon, and there's a blood debt to be paid.
Did I hear that from where I was pretending to sleep?
No, you're busy melting the vessel. You can't hear shit inside the bus.
Oh, okay.
Melting the vessel, sabotaging the hopes and dreams of everybody. You're busy with your own shit.
What is this, Bjorn? We still have the engine to work on.
I think the engine is less pressing. We have no one to drive.
What do you mean?
Rico is dead.
Are you serious?
Yes, Orion's trying to track down his last location. He'll be back with that information soon. And I think we have a message to send to the Dragors for this one.
Those motherfuckers. Was nobody watching, Rico?
Laz is now just visibly pissed off and frustrated, having finally said something intelligent, and no one listened to him. So he's just banging shit. If I move something right now, it is literally getting slammed into something because I'm very pissed off. Especially because I have a feeling that I'm gonna end up getting stuck driving the bus.
The camera
And
slowly
then it goes so well last time.
slowly dollies in upon Laz's face from like a distance, showing Bjorn standing sidelong from Barium on the other side of the camera frame. You guys are sideways upon this frame while we see Laz square head on, and as you guys are bantering about this, the camera's just dollying in upon Laz, showing his skin going from a gray to a fuming red. And in comic fashion, yet not, very serious, as suddenly he snaps, steam rising out of his ears. You spin about and kick a nearby barrel. The barrel fucking explodes against your foot, loud and crashing away as it sails off, smashing through the window, landing upon a small horse outside, crushing it and killing it, and you get 5 experience. At which point, the barrel continues on. It falls down a flight of stairs and crushes a small child. You take 2 experience. It then
Was it Mo?
careens past and over the edge of a small wall into the river, where it floats for a spell. It does this for some period of time, completely unaware to anybody else, until somebody, an old lady, falls into the water, screaming as she falls into this river, this sluice. Surely she's going to die. But she manages to grab that barrel. And then she gets rescued because of that barrel wedging itself against the side of the river. And as she pulls herself out, you take another 50 experience for saving that old woman's life.
Wow, save some of that aggression for the drag horse.
You take all that experience, boy. You fucking log and read our quests every session. So if you're not catching it, I'm doing this strictly for.
I appreciate it.
Full steam ahead, gentlemen, as you were. So, Orion's doing his thing. Orion's on pause for like another however long, while you guys hash out what you're doing here, and then we'll catch up. Give you guys a moment. I'll give you guys a moment.
I mean, Laz is just muttering under his breath and continuing to do whatever Barium had him working on before.
So fucking up the car.
Yeah, and Sorth is gonna come out with like a nice loose slab of meat in his mouth.
Miriam has to decide how the fuck he's gonna mess with the engine and join the fight.
You should build
No! Fuck me! God damn. Fucking splashing.
Please don't go on fire. Please don't go on fire. Please don't go on fire. Is that another dead keyboard?
No! Brad fucking knew, damn it!
What happened?
I don't know, I think he's had too many to drink already.
Splash out of my fucking cup. Why?
Did you try putting it in a race?
Fuck off. This is like 14 fucking keyboard sets in a year. Donate hard, people. These are $40 a piece. Actually, this was dead cheap. And is a piece of shit, but it was dead cheap.
Waterproof at this point.
Like, no shit,
You
eh?
can literally sink to the bottom.
And
Is there any like rubber covers you can put over these?
you know what? Fuck me, I forgot about those. I'm gonna look one of those cheesy ass things up. Like a fucking baby's bib, I need one. Jesus. Fucking sad how many of these I've gone through. Anyway. As we were, gentlemen.
Listen to Laz. Shit.
Hey, Barium listens.
I was carrying the pasha.
Let's keep it going, people. I want some combat this session. Personally, I need some fucking combat. Let's make some shit happen.
I'm gonna escort us at the bus and pick up one of the healing potions.
Throw me Constitution.
Wait, hold on.
No, wait, never mind. It's not that time yet. Never mind. You don't do shit. You walk in and you...
Julie,
Yes?
sorry to interfere. I'm gonna put something in your chat. Buy it. Anyways, continue.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just, I need to get ready for this fight because I haven't slept or rested at all since we got back. So I'm gonna drink a potion and try and find a space for.
Oh, it's a
rest
link.
to
You
look
can't
over
do it.
here and get ready for when Orion comes back.
Okay, that sounds fine.
I've been eating this worm meat for a while. Do I get any HP from that, or do I gotta grab a potion?
Oh, you know what? Do
Actually,
you
it's
do you
sick.
prep it? Do you
Yeah.
try to prep it or anything? Do you do anything with it, or do you just eat it raw? I mean, I'm down with that. I just want to know.
No, I'm just eating it raw.
Okay.
I'm not making-
Your link don't show up, Code. You gotta just message it to me. Like, through anything. You have me on everything.
Does Bjorn see me?
I even have his OnlyFans.
Yeah, well, you were my first subscriber. I mean, if I'm doing requests for anybody, I'm glad it's you.
Wait, when's the collab?
It's coming. No pun intended. With that said, Does you know what? People see you lounging about, being a nuisance. I guess sure. You're like Dennis the Menace, unavoidable. And if you remember that, boy, oh boy.
Yep.
So, with that said, was there any point to that? I mean, people can see you. I mean, you're not invisible. Not yet.
Because I was still fucking up the inside walls, right?
You hadn't got to that point. That was at the very tail end of this whole episode. For the time being, you're just being a pain in the ass in general fashion until you decided to step it up. I mean, if you're gonna be, terrible, it takes time to get to that point. But you got there. You got there eventually, but not yet. It's a bit of time travel, time dilation, if you will.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like an episode of The Witcher.
Yeah,
Oh,
very much so.
yeah, shit that confuses the fuck out of me.
And like Quentin Tarantino, Pulp Fiction is what it was, with the jumping
Yeah.
around.
Great movie.
Reservoir Dogs was good too. Both of them did that really well. Anyway, we digress. Hardcore. Quentin Tarantino, if you ever want to play D&D, come on by. What the fuck? Get off me, whatever you are. Jesus Christ. So, where are we?
You been getting into that cactus juice there, dude? Like, you been in that battle?
Buddy, how do you think I DM constantly? I tried DMing without it one time. It was Curse of Strahd. It was amazing. No, seriously though. I was fucking even more liquored. I mean, I'm on stream here. I can't be so sewered that I become so dramatic.
So since we're pressed for time in this scenario, does
No,
Barium
really.
have enough time to actually look at the engine at all?
Barium, my man, as your dungeon master, your friend, your companion through adventure, you get to choose what Barium is really prioritizing, what Barium has time for.
I at least want to look over the engine. I can't just leave it the way it is. Like, I have
Fuck,
to
of
see
course
what's
not!
going
You're
on.
Barium! How could you fucking just walk away from it? It was chuffing, it was gushing, it was fucking having a problem. Fucking just walking away from it. I dock you Anyway, so, throw me investigation. Do you have intelligence as with a bonus there? A nice fat intelligence bonus?
Yeah, I have +3 on both of those.
Terrific stuff. Let's hear about that roll.
Which one? Intelligence,
Investigation.
invest?
An investigation roll.
Alright. Got an 18.
Terrific fucking shit. You look that bitch over and you see that you have busted a seal on the very top end of the engine, an easy replacement. However, it's because of some sand as you pull your claw away from the edge, and you see simply there against the claw that you pull off, that bit of black tar drip off, and the granules stuck there, obvious as they are. The camera kind of does like a fast draw away from those particulates in your dragonborn claw as you look upon them, and the little bit of oil dripping slowly off and the grime caked against. And all the mechanics watching at home are like, no, God! Please don't it. But it's true. As you look upon it, something blew during that. Rico pushed it too hard, maybe? Or something in the fuel, maybe? As you think to yourself, as you look upon the Dionysius Valvulus, and imagine for a moment, could it have been pushed too hard? Did Rico actually manage that? But as the camera pulls away from you and shows the reflection of you looking upon it in the facade of that beautiful engine, covered in grime and soot and grease that is just pushed out, being pushed to the limit, and you think to yourself, it'll be an easy fix. 2 hours tops.
I'm getting to work then.
All right. As The camera pans against everybody and it shows the lot of you discussing whatever the fuck you have to do about the Dragors. It shows you spin a dog bone wrench twice over in your hand and disappear from frame as you get to work. We hear the cranking of the bolts and we watch as the gush of grease hits the floor. And a moment later, bolts clatter and steel smashes against steel as you tear the Odysseus down. And the lot of you, camera pans against you as you walk away from the battle bus, discussing amongst one another. As we get sort of a drone shot of the race paddock overhead, what does everybody do?
I still haven't found out that he's dead yet, right?
Actually, with everything going on, you probably would have heard something amongst everything. Oh, yeah. Just seen your message there, Sean.
If I heard a little bit, then I'll ask Bjorn what happened.
The kid comes up to Bjorn at one point, looking up towards you. His tiny self against your massive stature, replete in your armor, candy cane shining bright and proud.
We aren't sure. Orion's finding that out for us right now. Away with you, I've got to prepare.
I don't push it, but that tells me nothing, so I'm just gonna go and pester other people to try to gather more information because I'm a curious little kid.
That's fair. Throw me investigation.
10.
You don't learn much trying to eavesdrop on everybody, mostly because you're a kid and you're distracted. That's the best way I can put it. But point being, with a 10, you don't learn much amidst them as they're bantering about and you're kind of doing your own thing. As the camera pans against you, watching over the scene play out, time elapses as you're shunted, told to get the fuck out the way, told you're in the way, told to get this, get that, complained about for not getting that and that, and pretty much just treated as you've always been treated. As the camera pans against the scene, it all plays out in fast motion, the sun rising high overhead, as the camera pulls away from the base. And a moment later, it comes to rest overhead the city, panning slowly, like Game of Thrones style, except not. More like, I guess, SimCity, I don't know. Bunch of people moving around, camels and shit, horses, whatnot. Dragons fly by. We see cars and wagons, shit going by, doing their thing. This is the great strip that it is. Dashadjen, baby! Tourist trap in the middle of Kalimshan, the great gem! This place is full of money, pussy, wine, hookahs, and fucking God knows fucking what! Got it all! Yeah! And of course the Temple of Air, God bless their soul. Because, I mean, holy order and all that. I mean, you know. Yeah. That's important. Religion and faith and goodness and all that. That's the sort of city this place is, Dashadjen. It's all about that holy stuff. Past the hookah. But as the camera pans overhead this place, and we finally come to the dock side, and we see several elephants actually making their way away, as we see something zipping, coming to a rest stop, and people bantering loudly as the camera kind of pans in and goes sidelong as it heads in past the guys you were talking to earlier by the dockside. Their various forms just kind of wheeling and dealing as the camera flies past them down the dockside, and we're passing all these boxes and people's bantering, people complaining and yelling at each other, people laughing and joking, jostling. Somebody throws a bottle, somebody else is chasing after somebody else with a fucking crowbar, because that's the kind of place this is. And finally it pans in upon this great wall, sort of situated outside a small compound. Things about a story tall compared to you, as it pans against you next to it, and it shows you from the top down as you look up. And then it shows from like your ass end looking up past your head as it shows this thing just above you. And this is the compound. That's the wall. And the gate's over there. But what can I say? This is just a blank wall before the gate. And the guards haven't seen you. Do you try to sneak into the place or do you go through the gate?
So this is the gate to the bordello, or?
No, this is the gate to the
From
small
the horn,
squat tower belonging to Atranash Fuzul, the head of a lot of shit here in town.
I'm gonna go to the gate. I'm not gonna sneak in.
You think better of it and walk away from it. Making your way down towards the gate, you enter upon a small entryway. That is to say, it's about a 20-foot tunnel that leads to a singular guard. There's not much of a guard, it looks, from what you can see. He's elven. He doesn't seem to have any weapons. Just behind him, there's a simple iron door. It's a simple story wall. As you approach upon, the fellow looks at you and simply gives a bow like this. He doesn't say anything. He just stares at you.
Knock, knock, my friend. I come with loose pockets and a mind full of words, and I come to speak with Ozul, the one they call Ozul, the respected Ozul.
The elf simply gives a nod at this and gives a behind himself against the door. And he turns to the sidelong as the door slowly vibrates for a moment, and then it opens up. As it opens swinging wide, a pathway appears before you, leading through a narrow hallway, it looks like. But then you realize after a moment, it's actually just an open expanse. Like, literally just an open fucking space. In space. And the elf gives a nod.
Thank you. I will find my way.
As you walk towards, the elf suddenly kind of raises an eyebrow and he puts a hand out. And he looks at you. Kraken, yeah?
Yes. I am the one they call the Sand Kraken.
He just gestures to the side, getting out of your way.
Thank you.
As you enter into the open space, it literally fucking is open space all around. As you step into it, the void surrounding, as you step onto this path, you want to say? As nothingness envelops you all around, stars aren't even in existence in this night that seems to stretch away. A sort of purple, black, blue darkness enveloping at all sides for about 10 feet. And ahead of you, another door. As you walk across the space, the door behind you closes. And you find yourself situated in all but utter darkness. The outlines of the doorways silhouetted against the purple light. As after a brief moment, you hear something from the other side. And much to your relief, the other side opens up, spilling light into the space once again as you hear the sounds of revelry and amusement on the other side. Well, that's not working out as I'd hoped. There it is. As you step out into the welcoming light on the other side, you can see a space stretching away in a circular rotunda. A lipid pool in the center with the same sort of I'm fucking rich and Middle Eastern theme of wine, fruit, women, etc., waters, and whatnot. Besides that, though, you pass through and, making your way, picking through. I'm assuming you're just going to like, oh, this place is neat and walk by. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna flip my hood up so that I don't get distracted knowing that, I just made a bad choice. Sure
With
blinders.
with shame in full spectrum, you make your way through the space over towards the other side of this hedonistic sort of pit of revelry, if you will, that I would personally love to have. It's my fantasies. You guys are living my fantasies here. You make your way to the other side, and coming upon the simple hallway leading to a set of doors, there is a singular guard in the center. Again, elven, no weapons. Doesn't look like the other one, in case you're wondering. He's dressed similarly, but different. Looks like they have a dress code, but not a uniform. He gives a nod at you and a bow and says, "What do you seek, my friend?"
Greetings. I have come to speak to the one they call Zul. It is an important matter, and I wish to make it brief, though I do not wish to disturb the rest of his plans.
And I'll point back towards the room where all the revelry is happening.
Okay, fair enough. The fellow looks at you and then looks over towards the door to his left and then over towards the door to his right. And then he looks back at you and says, "Master Fuzul is busy."
How long will he be? Is he busy with something urgent?
To your chagrin, the fellow leans in, and his sparkling green eyes, he's got those uncomfortably bright-looking eyes, and a toothy grin similar to a Cheshire cat almost, like he's got too many teeth. As he grins and says, "He may be some time. However, he may be done soon. Time will tell." He gestures over towards the stone bench and simply says, "You may wait if you wish."
Ask for a cactus cocktail.
I'll kind of, with a little bit of frustration, I'll do the old bite my lip kind of thing. I'll put my hands into my pocket.
What's your passive insight?
10 is my passive.
Ooh, okay, fair enough. All right.
Very well, I will take a seat. I understand that he may have important matters at hand. Please let me know immediately when he is available, as I, too, have important things. And if it should so come down to loose pockets and loose change inside of those pockets that may open a door to seeing him sooner, do not hesitate to ask, my friend.
The fellow doesn't give you too much of a reaction, but he simply goes back to his position as he gives a nod at this and ends his gesture towards the bench, as I'm assuming you take your position on.
Yeah, I'll take a position on the bench, cross-legged, with my hood still up. Keep a low-key kind of look.
The camera pans against your face as it shows the dude's reflection in your eyes. And it pans to you guys in the back at the. It cuts to you guys back at the base, as at this point it will have been the 3 hours, and you guys have not heard back from Jon Sandkraken. So it's been at this point 8 hours plus the 3 hours. Sorry, 8 hours, yeah, plus the 3 hours, and then Barium is setting to work on the engine, which is he believes to be 2 hours. During this time, as this begins, my question is, what are the four of you doing? Mo included or not, I'm not sure, but regardless.
I'm tailing them.
I'm starting to get worried that he hasn't come back. So it probably would have been like 4 hours since I left him, around there, 4 or 5.
Yeah, almost actually. Yeah, 4 hours.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting really nervous, but I'm still gonna wait for a little bit longer and just pacing the workshop.
Okay. With that said, you don't you're not getting any reassurance this way. But is this all that anybody's doing?
Is there anything I can do to help Barry with this, or is this pretty much
100%.
plughead work?
No, you totally, absolutely can help him out. I mean,
Alright.
general labors are one thing for sure, but I mean, again, there's no discount for gopher duties and whatnot. If you can carry steel in, if you can carry parts in and out, you know, if you can get this, that, the other thing, it saves him time, saves you guys time, makes the repair go that much faster. So,
because I'd like to get this done and get a good solid.
literally, 2 people working on the job makes it half the time.
Amen.
However, that said, it does take you half the time. And a half an hour into the job, as you pull the cover off, 10 minutes into the job, as you pull the cover off, Barium, much to your fucking unfortunate surprise, there is quite a bit of sand that has been pulled in somewhere on the machine.
Where is this fucking sand coming from?
So as you look at
Laz is gonna gesture wildly to like the desert.
You wise ass.
throw me investigation.
Rolled a 10.
You know where the intakes on this thing are. As you look over the intakes, you're not sure what the fuck is missing. As you look down the open tube of the intakes, you see the frame, you see the bits of wire at the edges of like, basically it's an open tube and there's a bunch of wire that you can see situated in a kind of ring around the edge as you're staring down it and you're like, what am I not getting? And it's been a long couple fucking hours, man. You've been at this for 10 hours, 12, 11 hours now. As you're staring down this thing, 11 and a half hours, you're staring down this thing and you're like, I'm not getting something. And I'm telling you, as you're looking down this thing, this is the air intake in the sand, and you're looking down this open tube leading into the engine. Like, what am I missing? There should be something here. Can you tell me, Rick? What do you think? The open desert, this engine's got an intake. You're looking down this open tube. What do you think's missing? You can see a ring with frayed wire at the sides.
There be a filter.
As you stare upon it, and the camera kind of does a draw back upon it, you suddenly realize the filter got smashed in somehow. And this thing started taking in sand. So that's what's going
I need to
on.
find a filter quick.
And from there, from there, pardon us, shows you working hard as you rush off to get what you need. Throw me investigation, my man.
15.
And like that, you pack together some wire mesh, some hay. No, I'm kidding. Some wire mesh and reframe it. Sparks flying off as about 3 hours goes by of you having to go find this shit, manufacture it, and fit in a new filter. However, that is not accounting for the time it's going to take for you to clean out the engine. And that's going to suck. Both you and Laz can work on this. Laz can work on this while you're going to get the part and shit and manufacturing it. Laz, go ahead and roll me dexterity. I'm sorry, brother.
And I'm rolling dick today. 11.
It's going to be enough to get most of it out. So, scooping as hard as you can. You get as much of the sand and crap cleaned out and doing your best to blow out the ports and whatnot. I mean, you're literally like blowing down into these fucking piston holes and shit. Anyway, you do your best to clear out the whole... Hey?
Do I notice I'm trying to clean it?
I don't think at this point. This is extended time. You're tailing the other guys as they're off to do their thing. And so with that said... No, that's wrong. Soundboard. Sorry. And there we go. Alright, terrific. I believe this one will do. I'm not actually sure. I'm hoping. Oh my god, out of my way, Zoom. Get out of my way with that crap. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't care. I want it out of my way. Alright, so this is as you guys hit it, as they're working on shit, you guys... Right. Cutting back to my man Orion. Situated inside the little hallway, making your way... that is really not the music I wanted at all. I apologize. Please forgive me. That was terrible. Oh my god, what the fuck happened there? Let's jump back to this for the moment. Yeah, because that one's not gonna work. We'll stick with it too while I'm at it. Sorry, where were we? Lost my train of thought on this. Refresh my memory. Where were you? You're doing the what now?
Orion was sitting on a bench, cross-legged, with pants on.
Right. Thank you.
I had pants on.
He has pants on, damn it. No, I montaged that shit. I did.
I had pants on. I put them on as I left.
That was an established thing. That was an established thing. So, with that said, to your surprise and pleasure, after about an hour goes by, the fellow, the elf, he simply shouts out, "Small man, I say, your time has come. The boss will see you now." And he leans over towards the door and gives it a quick... he walks over towards the door and leans in upon it and gives it a quick rap, like such, 2 taps, and then leans off it. And as this happens, the door just happens to open for him. But it's not magic, you see, as on the other side, there's another dude dressed similarly, but not the same. Another elf fellow who, as the door opens, you can see his face and his long sword at his back, but moreover, many knives across the chest, and finally, a pair of potions at his belt. He is, like I said, dressed similarly to the other guards, but equipped as he is, you wonder if he's not a different sort of, not a guard, basically. As you enter in upon the door, I'm assuming?
Yeah, entering upon the door.
You find yourself surrounded in opulence. It stretches away in a bit of a crescent, and there's a little bit of an arboretum yonder with some various what is it, an ornithopter, whatever, a bunch of bird cages suspended within the arboretum. Amidst them, you can see a spindly, almost unhumanly spindly human figure, who, kind of like this sort of thing, seems to be picking at one of the birds and holding its wing, and takes a set of sort of, like, they look like pinchers with bristles, and he straightens out the thing's feathers carefully, and he's humming to himself as he suddenly kind of does one of these. Hello. And he pulls back. My last concert ended early. I understand you have business. And he pulls the bristled thing off his fingers. And he gives a kiss to his little bird cage there. Doesn't actually kiss the bird, but you know what I mean. And he looks back towards you. Beautiful little things. I love to collect them. Can I help you? You are. He looks over towards his aide who looks at him. The Sand Cracker. Welcome, Cracker.
Close. Sand Kraken. Yes.
He gives a nod at this. Yes, of course.
Yes. You are Fazul, I presume.
He gives a long sweeping gesture like one of these. I am indeed. You are welcome to my domain.
Pleasure
Please,
to meet you.
do you drink? Do you eat, I should ask in these times? Ha! These lands are strange. Please have a seat. And he gestures with a long,
I
spindly
should take
set.
a seat with you. Most certainly, I just came from Gons, as you may know, and he throws quite the party, so I should lay off for the day.
You watch as he... Wait, what's your passive insight?
It's 10.
Okay. You watch as he looks upon you and says, Came from Gongs, did you? Very good then. And how does my competitor fare?
He seems to be faring quite well. He doesn't speak much, and he certainly doesn't have as lovely a collection as you. But he did send me this way to speak with you. Perhaps
Throw me persuasion?
he knew you would have more helpful information for me.
Throw me persuasion?
Uh, 12.
He looks upon you and seems decidedly pleased and says, Tell me, Kraken, why is it you seek my concert? I am busy. Always.
Yes, I know, and I wish I wouldn't have to come here to speak with you about these matters, but the fact is, our pilot for our crew in the Great Race has been murdered in cold blood just hours ago, and I need to lay down some justice for his loss, if you get what I'm saying.
He, I don't have any, unfortunately, like, sounds of birds and shit. All I have is, like, crows. I don't know what you got in your soundboard there. But, like, budgies and whistling and parrots and shit. Anyway, as this is all going on, there's also the rotunda of his staff and guards and, of course, you know, the standard fare. As he is standing there, spindly and gaunt, and looks over towards you. Your driver, do you say?
Yes. And it's very unfortunate. He was a great man and great talent.
Indeed,
And he was part of my crew.
Was a great talent. I am sorry to understand he was part of your crew. We had heard he was indeed part of the winning trek. It is a shame.
So you know of Rico?
Yes. Yes, we have known many things of Rico.
Were they particularly good things, or?
Of course, he is an exceptional talent. Rico is fantastic as a driver. Is he not?
He was a fantastic driver, yes. But I excuse my ignorance, but I can't help but get the sense that there's something else that you knew about him.
Yes. I should say I must apologize. Perhaps even owe money to your pasha. And as the camera pans low against your face, despite your low fucking insight, the fellow simply turns towards you and says, "It is a shame the history some breed in Kalimshan. The eggs we lay, is it not so, little man?" And he simply walks away from you, sweeping robe and what, and the camera pans around your face to show the reflection of everything going on around you in your eyes. He looks over towards you. "What was your driver worth, that I may forward payment to your pasha?"
That is something you would have to discuss with the pasha. But are you saying that you were responsible for the demise of Rico?
Indeed,
That-
so it is. Unfortunate circumstances.
Ah.
Had I known
So-
who to reach out to, perhaps I would have seen fit, but we did not see fit to intervene upon the race, such that you have found, and my honor will bind.
Ah. So a debt paid is a debt due, and a debt due is paid in blood.
And so it shall be.
Hmm.
Do you have need of a driver now?
Most certainly we are in need of a driver, and someone who has near equivalent or better skill would be enough to settle the debt, I'm certain, and the pasha would look past this if you are willing to lead me in that direction.
We would be willing to work with your pasha. Would you be willing to set up the introduction?
Yes, I would.
Fantastic.
Very well. I will set out and talk with him, and we will meet very soon, I'm sure, as time is of the essence, of course.
I should look forward to it then. This has been most excellent a meeting, my little friend. And he leans down, his massive 6.5, 7 foot stature, spindly, gaunt, sinewy, like Jack Skellington, if you imagine. And he leans down towards you and extends a hand for a shake. And he shakes your hand. And it shows, like, from a sidelong angle, tiny you and this massive, weird, spider-looking dude as you shake his hand.
And with that, I'll make my leave.
You do so.
And I'll run back to the camp.
Appropriate. As you make your way, running back as fast as you can, there's kind of a montage of you passing by the different locations that you visited during your interrogations of the city, of your efforts to locate the source of your troubles. And as You pass by all these various locations and destinations and crowds of individuals around town. The tension surmounts as the scenes are bleaker and bleaker, with people looking at you awkwardly as you pass by. It shows you close up running through the city, trying as hard as you can to make your way back to camp, to the race paddocks as fast as possible. Your tiny legs to be cursed, your small stature to be despised for how slow it makes you against all time and effort as you make your way towards the camp. And finally do you come back upon the place. As the place spreads out before you, small as it is, it's home. The bus sits, freshly repaired in so many ways. You look upon your companions as they look upon you. Coming out of the bus, having fixed this and that barium, his welding hat still on, welding wand in hand, Laz puts down the block of engine iron that he was about to carry in. Sorry, not even welding one. You've got the fucking drill in hand to bolt shit down as you show up there. Bjorn is there, and I guess Sorth at this point, you're still trying to pack stuff into the bus, much to the chagrin of the other guys who are working on the engine. But so it goes. You're finding places for it. It's fine. But here we are. So, Orion walks into the camp here, sighting upon this all. You guys see this all for the moment. I don't actually assume that Barium and Laz would slow down repairs. But for dramatic stakes, maybe you take a moment. You're like, yo, and then carry on. I'm not sure. Buddy's back after fucking, what has it been, 6 hours? 5 hours? 5 hours, I think. Actually, yeah, travel time included would have been 5 hours. It was 4 hours, 3 hours he was gone, and then an hour while he was waiting, and then it would have been an hour for the meeting, and then we'll even say like half hour coming back. So like, holy fuck, where the fuck you been, buddy?
Ryan, I'd begun to feel. Did you find those who were responsible? Did you find this Bordlow?
I had one. Bjorn, I found the truth.
Aye?
Okay, so, one second here. Somebody has some water. I need some water. Yeah.
Throw me a constitution check.
Throw you what?
A constitution check. 12 or better.
Music's a tad loud, Julie.
It's supposed to be that way. It's dramatic, goddammit.
I just threw a 3 for that. So.
Are you serious?
An aneurysm.
Stories in mind. Thank you, Table. Is as you're out of breath and sweating and everyone's looking upon you like you just ran a marathon, which you did, but it's not just that. As the adrenaline has been pushing and your heart rate's been up and something else. God, what the fuck is that? Oh, fucking cactus juice is the gift that keeps on giving. As you watch ahead of you, Bjorn's head turning into this massive kind of like size miasma, if you will, where the eyes are just jostling back and forth. And I'm talking like extremes. And then suddenly everything takes a plaid pattern in the background as you swoon and you're like, fuck, not this again. And you try to control it, you know, like you're like, I can ride this, I got this. You try to get a hold of it, but before you know it, it just hits you, just fucking slams in you, and you're already parched all over. You kind of gag because you want to puke, but you can't. Your stomach tightens up, and as you fall forward, telling yourself you're still standing, you guys watch as he just unceremoniously does a fucking faceplant. And as a little bit of drool comes out, You hear, sorry, you were trying to tell them about what, Orion?
I was trying to tell them about the truth that I found with Fazul, and that it wasn't the Dragors that killed Rico.
Right. So, you guys don't actually hear any of that. All you guys hear is Rico. And as drool bursts from his mouth, a moment later, he says, dead.
Are you okay? Did someone poison you?
Ew.
You can barely speak at the moment. You don't know what the fuck just hit you. Something from earlier. It feels familiar and yet so foreign. And you kind of remember not remembering this from earlier, if that makes any sense. You're like, right, this fucking shit. This is what you didn't remember. Oh my god. And here it comes for a second wave. You were stone sober, what the fuck?
Practice, Bruce.
Can I feed him some antitoxin?
Yeah, absolutely. Please do.
Okay.
I want to drink some water on it.
Yeah, throw some water on him,
I
too.
kind of force feed him this vial of antitoxin.
Alright, throw me, yeah, whatever. He's pretty fucking out of it. It doesn't take much. Before long, as the shit hits his system, the whole of the world, as it's like twisting about in on itself as you go into like nightmare mode, like literally you're just in on yourself as you're like, I need to tell my friends, and before you know it, it's like this expansive canyon ahead of you, and you're hollering down against the end of it as you're running towards the end of it. You just gotta reach your friends. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. You're just fucking ripped, buddy. Is what I'm saying. You're on a space fucking journey to help the world, and the first thing you have to do is tell your friends of Rico, and the world will be better for it, and worms will no longer be a problem. That fucking lizard, and if he'd only share that meat sometimes, why is he so territorial? Is he shitting in the corner? Anyway, as like all this goes through your head, like you're just like as I said earlier, cactus juice, gift that keeps on. And your friends doing their best to help you out eventually do. You come to with the whole world swirling into form. As you look up towards who's the first person he's going to see, I wonder.
As I'm coming back to reality, I'm gonna hear whispering. And it's gonna be my friends' voices telling me to come back. And as I get to the end of that door and I open it and I come back to reality, I'll burst awake like a really bad dream, you know, when you just like wake up. I'll just sit up and go. And then I'll look around me.
And with
Get all
that,
my friends.
who's around him?
What the fuck happened to you?
Burial? Is that really you?
Yes.
Cold sweat, drool down your front. The whole of you is soaked.
Well, that was awful. Yes, where was I? Did I tell you anything?
You weren't making sense when you came in. I think you've been poisoned.
Something like that. It's a long story. Obviously, I've been gone for I don't know how long. But I talked to a giant Buddha. He sent me to a hornet, and a horn. I don't know. He had birds. Anyway, I went in there, and I found the truth of Rico and his demise. And he wants to meet. It wasn't the Dragors. It was a man named Fazul. And apparently, according to his story, Rico owed him a great debt. And that debt was paid with his life.
Wait, Rico's dead?
Yes, it's gonna be okay, Mo. Unky's here. Rico died,
Ew.
but Unky's still alive. I had to get out of there.
Who the fuck is Fazul?
He's a strange, dangerous fellow. I feared for my life just for a moment. He seems obsessed with birds, and he's wealthy beyond all means. I don't know what or who he is, but he seems to keep company with the elves, and we all know about those elves. Yeah, not to be trusted, but he wants to meet with the pasha, and he wants to pay his debt for killing Rico without insulting us.
That must be paid.
So,
One way or another.
I'm thinking another.
Not a good idea.
We still have the race to worry about.
I know, and we don't have much time. That is why when he brought up what he owed our pasha, I suggested he find us another driver, and we can work out the details of Rico's death together. I didn't feel right making that choice by myself, and I had no idea this was where this path would lead me. But it is somewhat of a relief to know that the Dragos aren't targeting us personally, unless they went through this man. But that is all the information I have, and I didn't want to make any calls for us, so I came running back here as quick as I could.
So it wasn't personal to us. Rico owed and paid for it.
Very true.
I don't think we should take this as seriously or personally as we are right now.
How do the rest of you feel?
Rico was one of us.
Also, when are you gonna meet the new driver? I wanna meet him.
Take 5 experience. I should take 15 experience. That was good. That was well placed. Hold on.
There is no new driver yet. We're still... God damn it, Mo.
Love it.
Damn kids.
Alright. So what are you gonna do? Put an ad in the paper? You gonna meet with this dude? You gonna tell the pasha? What's going on?
Should we get the pasha and all go together to meet with this Fazul and settle these debts?
We should. If we can't find a driver, I can cover for a split.
He seemed quite confident he could find someone of Rico's caliber, but I also would like to make sure Rico's family is taken care of. Or something. I know he owed a debt, so this is kind of tricky, but now he owes the pasha for the death of his first leg winning driver. Or do we even get the pasha involved? That's the real question.
We should. This is his race team, by the way. This is his money. And even if Rico did owe this debt, it still fucks us.
Very true. It is our lives on the line now.
You only care that Rico's dead because it's inconvenient? No loyalty?
He was a part of the team.
He was. I did not know about this debt, and if I would have had known, perhaps my winnings would have gone somewhere else to clear it, but he didn't let us into that world. We didn't have a chance to get that close to him. I don't know if any of you knew about the debt, but that part's behind us now. Rico is gone. There's nothing we can do.
He's shown us how a debt can be paid.
True.
We know Rico wasn't clean, and I don't know half of what he was into. We still have to fill in those gaps.
Oh. I'm gonna get some water. And if you think it wise to gather the pasha and head to the Zools, I can show you the way. I just came from there, and they will be waiting for us.
Why don't we just jump the guy who's he's gonna send?
It's not how you deal with this, Mo.
Do I see that coming? Can I dodge that?
Make an attack roll.
Oh.
Player's not gonna take it. Player's not gonna take it. What's your roll?
Damn it, bro.
Tell me it's a crit fail. Oh shit!
Oh.
What the?
Sorry, brother.
Damn it, bro.
Is what it is. Is what it is.
Bitch slapped.
Oh, it wasn't a nat. Well, wait, no, it wasn't a nat 20. It was a 17 plus 3.
I mean, it doesn't actually cause any damage, but it is double pride loss. It is double embarrassment. I guess. I don't know. But not to be a dick about it, but seriously though. Nat 20 is nat 20. Shit, brother. When you bitch slap, eh? Damn. Sorry, Mo. Fuck.
Alright, so
Mo's getting it
So-
brutally. Like,
so
this
Les-
is seriously a
Les
treatise
is
on
gonna
child
turn to
abuse
Barry
here.
overhearing this and just be, I don't like it. And if the pasha's going, we gotta protect the pasha.
I don't like it either. But I agree with you.
Noting the music, each of you agrees upon each other.
We best maybe leave some of the pasha's escort here to guard the vessel.
I don't think the pasha needs to come for what must be done.
He needs to be there with us.
It would only put him at risk.
Should we
Let him make
perhaps
that choice.
ask him? Source!
We need to tell
Source,
him.
where are you? Source!
I like poke my head on the other side of my meat pile.
We need your opinion down here. We're making a decision as a crew. You can't do that missing a member. Get down here and deal with your meat later.
Put my pants
Okay,
back
I
on.
don't make the decision.
I need my skilled companion down here.
All right.
Should we
What's
go?
the issue?
We found the murderer of Rico. I don't know if you even know this, but Rico's been murdered. We don't have a driver. I discovered the murderer, and he wants to meet with the Pasha to pay his debt because he did not know that this was the Pasha's driver before killing him. Bjorn wants to kill him, but not eat him. And we want to get the new driver out of the debt, and then maybe kill him after we get the driver.
We need a driver. We'll kill him after. That's my vote.
Okay, very well.
Give him my meat.
Pasha must know what's going on.
Says
I'll-
Barium as the camera pans it against
turn
his
around and
face.
start walking towards. Is the Pasha like camped around here or something? Do we know?
Yeah, he's nearby.
Okay, I'll just turn around and start walking towards the Pasha's tent.
He's in the Motel Sheesh, and so you make your way over towards it.
If anybody follows me or tries to stop me,
I'm there.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you.
Walk as a
Seriously,
group.
behind you.
I'm tailing. I'm like trying to be sneaky about it because you just left me some plotting revenge.
The whole of you, as some awkwardly role-played group, make your way over towards where the Pasha is taking residence.
just to
What?
make quick note, sorry, Dooley. Before
Yep.
we head out, I'm gonna pay some guards that are nearby to watch our vessel.
Oh, is that right? What are you gonna pay him?
Whatever they ask, if it's like 5 gold or something, then
They look at each other and they just say a gold apiece.
okay, I'll flip them up the gold.
You think we should have asked her more? Anyway, so they take their gold, they walk away. And you think to yourself as you're walking away, despite your low ass insight, maybe I should have paid them more in case a rich ass family that can afford to pay them more rolled up and was like, yo, I'll pay you fucking 2 gold, giving you just one fucking however many platinum. I'm just saying, you know, not
Does
to be
anyone have more insightful than me
not to
notice
be an
this and, like,
absolute
flip
asshole
another
about
piece of
it,
gold?
but you know, I'm gonna take a piss now while you guys think
Yeah,
about this.
money's nothing to me.
I'm just gonna
Got
ask.
12. I had 12 and I care. 12 insight.
Oh.
I've got a 10. But I don't know if Laz puts 2 and 2 on it.
Oh, insight.
Does anybody have like a spell of warding or something?
No.
Or like a trap or
Oh, I got a trap.
do you?
Yeah.
I'm really worried about the vessel. A fireball trap?
Yeah.
Rick, could you leave your like 3-legged creature on
No.
No.
I have to be in range of it. Otherwise, it won't activate.
Gotcha.
God, you know nothing about me.
Don't. Sorry.
Oh, actually, I can put mine down.
What do you got?
That arrow thing, it just kind of
Oh.
sits there.
That's cool.
I was just looking at it now, yeah. It just sits there.
That's just a magical arrow that floats in the air until somebody walks under it.
Yeah, it's just 4 arrows that sit there until somebody comes within 30 feet of them and then they get shot.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. Okay.
But if
So,
it targets the guard,
It
It
can't-
kicks a soccer ball.
Yeah, I gotta like designate what it doesn't target, so
Oh,
I
okay,
can
okay.
say that not the guards, but if anyone else accidentally walks in, they're gonna get hit. So
Oh.
there's that. It's like,
Hey,
I was
Mo,
about to
I
say,
forgot
can't-
something in the bus.
yeah, exactly. Pasha walks by.
Like, can't thieves set traps as well as disarm them, or no? Is that a separate skill?
I think if you have traps to set, you can put them out.
Yeah.
But
Ah, okay.
I don't have any traps.
Before we go, I need like a health potion because
Oh.
I'm pretty snacked up.
You
just
dying?
kiss your boo boos.
Not dying. Just
Well,
like
you were inside the bus, beating your meat. So if you wanted to grab one of those out of the rack,
Yeah. What's the
8d4 plus 8. I mean, you guys are kind of burning through some big ones. Or if you're not close to dead,
I'm at half. So.
oh, I didn't end up using one. I just used my short rest to heal.
Oh, okay. Actually, yeah. Well, no, I can't really do that now. I'll take it with me just in case, but that's it.
Just
Alright.
say you were sleep eating.
Oh yeah, Dooley. Did you
Yo,
ever come up with if I gained any HP from eating all the meat?
oh, all the meat?
Well, just as I've been going, I didn't eat it all. It was just kind of like.
Didn't I give you a bunch of temporary hit points in the beginning there?
No, not of this session.
That was me.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I did him
Okay.
too.
Ryan put a
I-
card.
No, fair
I
enough.
got cactus juice.
I mean, at the beginning.
Okay.
Oh wow, how about that? At the beginning of it, as she goes, what the fuck? Why did I have that? Oh, just because? No, fuck you. You had 2 temporary hit points from eating the bit of meat that you did at the beginning.
That works. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so I can't set that just in case somebody else comes and gets hit.
Okay.
Oh, and Source set a trap at the
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
I will do that. The
before we
4
left.
arrow thing.
I'm sorry?
Like, I'm gonna set the cordon of arrows, like around the at the entrance of the bus,
At the entrance
So
of the.
it's-
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. And is that all? Are we moving on? Make our way downtown?
Pick a
Pasha?
Yeah, I'm ready. If you guys are ready.
So at this point, where do we sit? Let's take stock of the situation, shall we? From top to bottom. Sorth and Orion, Bjorn, and Laz. Oh, sorry, actually, maybe not Laz. Laz and Barium, you guys are not currently working on the machine at this point. Let's make it
Yeah.
finished. Oh, you are doing. Yeah, you are still actually. No, you were in the mix. That's right. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so you guys are still busy. Bjorn, Orion, and Sorth, you're gonna be going and being heroes. Mo, what are you doing? You wanted to tag along with them, and that said, is that you all are what then at this point? Heading where?
Heading to
Pasha.
the Pasha's.
Entering upon his property, there's a quick rap on the door that I'm assuming somebody puts down.
Yeah, I'll knock on the door.
The door opens up a moment later. Mansoor is on the other side. Regal, tall, and staring down upon you. His bearded form has a half smirk, smile. You're not sure if he's greeting you. What is he doing?
And Mansoor, is the Pasha, is he available?
Yes. What do you need, little man?
We have a man to kill and we need his approval.
Ah, very good. Is this to go well or poorly? We shall see.
Yes.
He steps away from the door, and as he does so, he looks back towards you and says, "There is much at stake in this, you understand." And he looks over towards where the Pasha is seated next to a fireplace of sorts. And as he stares at it, and the Pasha, he looks back towards you and says, "You are welcome to enter, please. Welcome. My champions," he says, as he gives a low bow. And he peers in towards. And the Pasha looks up towards you as he takes a puff off of a kind of long pipe that he's got there, and he puts it on a little stand. As he simply says, "Hello, my friends. What is it that I can help you with?" He's kind of, doing one of these sorts of things. But anyway.
Well, just come to our knowledge that our driver, Rico, was
Have you heard? We have been accepted into a special sponsorship. Oh. Mansoor, have you told them? And you guys kind of glance over towards Mansoor, and the camera pans against Mansoor. As Mansoor, he suddenly realizes something. And, wow, yeah, he, oh. Yes, my Pasha. No, don't ruin it for me. If you have not told them, I wish to. Oh, you would not believe this. Do you know that Rico, this driver that you found, he's a legendary champion here. Apparently, he competed against Altronash Fuzul and beat him, bested him in his own race. Ah! To this day, though, you know, the truth is that he took the trophy and nobody has found it to this day. That man, I wish to shake his hand. If only I could just have his hand to shake right now. Ugh. Just to have his hand, you know. Just not even the rest of him, you know. Just a hand, just to kiss it. Just the ability in that hand alone. Even a finger. Ugh. I would lick it, you know. Oh. He looks over towards Mansoor, and Mansoor. Mansoor gives this low exhale. As the Pasha is like, so we have been accepted. I cannot. Mansoor, bring me a salad, please. Bring me what I desire most at this moment is exactly this salad that only Dashadjen can offer. Please, bring me what I desire.
Pasha.
Yes, of course. No, please. Yes, do this. Yes. And Mansoor is like, yes, of course. You are on your own. And he walks off. The camera pans low against you guys as it shows like Bjorn and Sorth's chests. And Mo kind of in the background peering over aside Sorth as his tail nearly whips Mo in the head. And Laz, your thighs are in the picture. But anyway, it shows Barium over there too. He's in the background. He's kind of staring out the window as he kind of nods to himself, understanding where this is about to go. And so the camera pans in on Orion and the Pasha. And, the Mansoor is nowhere to be fucking seen. But there's a pause of slow motion as Orion's about to what, sorry? What now? What's going on? You are all free to interrupt. Like, this is a role-playing game. Don't ever mistake my camera bullshit for anything like you can't interrupt, okay? You can totally jump in. This is democratic through and through. So you fucking jump in at any point. If anybody's got anything to say it now or forever hold your fucking peace.
You're going to need something a little stronger than a salad for what we're about to tell you.
I agree, yes! Mansoor, bring us wines, please, my man. This is a matter of celebration.
Fazul has not let go of that day that he was beaten by once great racer pilot Rico, and he had him chopped into several little bits, which me and Bjorn found in a dumpster behind a nightclub.
The camera pans slowly against the Pasha's face. It shows the reflection of his, your reflection in his eyes, which has been a running theme in this episode, I might add. And as this happens, it just kind of slowly zooms in as it plays the same sort of dramatic music as it was playing earlier with your dramatic close-ups, but it's playing it in a distorted, slow motion as it just pans in upon him. As it does this upon him, everything else around him seems to be going at normal speed as this realization is setting in upon him. And then finally he says, I'm sorry, what? Don't say a word. Mansoor! Mansoor! And after a moment of him screaming this over and over, Mansoor shows up. Yes, my Pasha. We need a new driver. Yes, my Pasha, I heard. I am sure you did. And he just fucking rages internally for a moment as he stares upwards and lets it fume, and if steam could rise from a man's ears. And as he just finally exhales, and he looks at you. What more news do you have for me?
I would go kill the man.
He
raises a hand. We are in a fragile political situation. And as you guys are seeing this, hang on, I just want to note the Mansoor is walking in, and places a hand on the pasha's shoulders, and the pasha is just kind of doing one of these as a hand goes on his shoulder. And sorry, continue.
Although, in normal circumstances, I would agree with Bjorn's stance on this matter. And I still think it is something to be considered. But at this time, Fazul wishes to meet with you, and he wishes to repay his debt for killing Rico, as he was unaware that Rico was our driver and was under contract with us.
As you are saying this, you note the pasha is nodding along, and then finally he places a hand on Mansur's hand on his shoulder. Your words are those of wiser men before me, he says as he lowers his hand and says, so it shall be. We are paid and we must find a new driver. Legends are legends for their histories, after all.
There is more.
What more could there? Yes.
When I learned of this, I made the suggestion that the debt be paid with a new driver, one of equal caliber, or someone who could fill those shoes of Rico's.
As the camera pans against... Sorry, what is that, Bear?
We can't trust him.
The camera pans against you saying this in the background ever so abruptly, and then it shows you at a distance and the pasha's face close up, sidelong though, as he's looking at you. Barium is always the wise one. Why does he say this? As he looks at you, square in the face, just staring down at you as he would anybody else.
He just murdered Rico. Rico was our driver. He had beef with him. Why would he support someone who was in league with Rico?
This is wisdom. I cannot disagree with this.
I do not know. I do not know this man enough. But perhaps he fears for his life.
He should.
He didn't just kill Rico, he mangled him.
Yes, I mean, he seems to be a man that cannot take a loss. He seems to be very proud.
Is he in this race?
No, but as we've just discovered, he once was a great racer who was defeated by Rico and never accepted defeat.
The pasha gives
man
a...
as he is, we can't trust anything he says.
So how do we deal with this is the real question.
Mansur simply raises a voice
to get back to
and
the
says,
race with the driver and get the next leg going.
he was never
Rico.
a driver, he corrects and says, he sponsored, is what I understood. He sponsored races and lost to Rico's sponsor.
Oh, I understand.
The wager was high price, Mansur says finally. Oh shit. The pasha rolls a 16 plus. Someone was paying attention. So, the pasha simply says, of course, this is a grudge. So it is. Shall we stay into it or out of it? I'm not sure. But this is a grudge between Rico, our historical driver, and this man. Okay, so it is. He wants something. What does he want? What is he after? Do we pay him? Do we avoid him? Do we take him down? He looks towards Mansur and then towards the lot of you. I am at a loss, I will admit. I do not know enough of either situation to make an intelligent choice upon. I trust you, my people. Tell me what it is that we should do.
Perhaps we arrange a meeting get the details of what driver he had in mind to pay the debt?
Mansoor simply pipes up, I do not trust this. There is no trust to be had. This is not okay. This will not go
That's where
well.
The second part of my plan comes into play. Once we have a name, we kill him.
The Pasha simply gives a nod. It is my style. However, not Mansoor's. He prefers to develop bridges, not burn them. However, to this end, I am not in disagreement. And the rest of you, do I hear any other ideas?
I don't think we should be considering building bridges with the man who mutilated one of our crew.
He simply gives a nod to this. While I would be one to agree with you, simply for general principle, I would remind, this is Kalamshan. All manner of man, all manner of priority, all manner of morale. Whom you choose as a friend should not be so driven by here.
I have an idea.
The camera pans against the kid, and then it pulls back to show the Pasha as he slowly looks over towards you.
And I whack him
Alright.
with my tail.
Oh my.
What's that?
Man, I haven't said my idea yet. I'll let you hit eat your tail. My idea is genius. Okay,
The Pasha simply raises a hand and says, Speak then, child. Let us hear this. Wisdom.
let's find out who this driver is, kill him, and then I'll take his place with my disguise. And then I spy on that man, and we kill him as well.
The Pasha nods at this and says, While I appreciate your exuberance... Oh, no, saying it. That's Mansoor. The Pasha looks at you and says, While I appreciate your exuberance, child, an assassination of such scale would not be due course. He looks over towards
They'll never
Mansoor.
find out.
What's that?
They'll never find out. Too
So-
good.
So Laz has just been shaking his head and he pipes up. He says, Get the driver. Kill the boss. We bring Mansoor.
How tall is Pasha? The Pasha.
He's 5'11", actually.
Oh shit.
5'10". We'll make him 5'10".
Actually?
Yep.
Hold up, let me find out how tall I am.
Oof. Sorry. What's Laz doing there?
Yeah, Laz's only comments were, bring Mansoor, get the driver, kill the boss.
The camera pans low against everybody, showing just pretty much your faces, not even over your heads, if that makes sense, just framing your faces, your expressions, as it pans just so against each of you. Does anybody else say anything else?
Yeah. Can I cast Disguise Self and Disguise as the Pasha?
Is it a one-action spell?
What do you mean by that?
By the description of the spell, does it say...
Yeah, it's one action.
Okay, terrific stuff. So, as the camera pans against the lot of you, it shows you do the thing. As you transform yourself into, you stand there a bit of a replica of the fellow you saw doing the thing.
I am the Pasha, and I say, let's go kill that man. Oh yeah, I need to roll a d20. Magic.
You have to roll a d20 on this?
I'm just
I got a
picturing
nat
like a
20.
ditto.
I got a nat 20 for my wild magic. Does that count?
Holy shit, seriously? I'm not sure what a
Yeah.
nat 20 on a wild magic roll counts for. Pardon me.
I'm just picturing the Pasha with those little tiny ditto eyes. And ditto transforms into another Pokemon.
With that blank smile.
And it looks all fucking messed up.
It fucking really doesn't do anything, bro.
Why?
I'm sorry.
Boring.
I'm so sorry. If it had gone off, that nat 20 would have been amazing. I want to execute it just cause, but mechanics wise, you didn't trigger it with the nat 1, so it is what it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love that you're a sorcerer. I'm sorry that it doesn't happen as often as I'd like. Especially with a fucking nat 20. Damn. What a waste of the nat 20. Where were we, for the love of Christ?
Last said his piece. Mo transformed.
Mo transformed. Oh yeah, sorry. Painting across your faces, yo. What are you all saying? I mean, Mo did his thing. He's like, hey, I'm the pasha. Check me out, yo. And the lot of you were all kind of there in the circle, you know? 70s show style. It does a revolution of you all. What do you say? What do you do? If anything, if nothing.
It's a matter of principles and faith. This man can't live after what he did to one of our crew.
All right, it pans from Kelso too.
Either way, we can't trust the guy.
Can I smile with all of my teeth just showing?
Bjorn and Sorth take 15 experience for expert Twitter style fucking news bite. Can't ask for better momentary wisdoms, thereby encapsulated character bites. Love it. Excellent stuff. Moving along, no pressure. Next person. For sure you'll get the 15, no problem. Sorry, anyway.
Whatever must be done, we must do it quickly. The race starts tomorrow.
I agree. A lot of shit goes down in Kalimshan. Sometimes debts must be paid in blood, but to straight mutilate someone, that shows how fucked this guy is. And he did fuck our team by killing Rico. Rico was a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone notice Barium's language went straight to hell as soon as the race started?
We still need a driver.
What's it take to drive? Is it strength or what?
It's a lot of different things depending on circumstance. Sometimes it's dexterity, sometimes it's strength, sometimes it's constitution, depending on if something fills the cab.
I mean, it can't be harder than...
Wisdom for figuring shit out, that sort of
If
thing.
all else fails, I do think we agree on getting revenge for ourselves in combat. If we can't find a driver in time, I can cover for a leg.
Pasha, do you wish to come with us, or should Mo keep this facade up throughout and shall you remain here safe?
Hello?
I'm talking to you.
Oh, me? Sorry, what?
Pasha.
About which? Oh, sorry.
I was asking if the Pasha wanted to come with us.
The Pasha looks you guys over and simply gives a shake of his head. You cannot be serious. Me on the open road?
No, just simply, do you wish to accompany us to this meeting with Fazul, where we can lay judgment?
He looks you up and down at this and says, he looks around the room, actually, at this. First, he looks at Barium. What's the expression on Barium's face?
This is the best I can do. This face doesn't transform very much.
It really doesn't, but I appreciate you all the same.
Glaring?
What is the expression on Barium's face? Describe it. I mean, words, man. It's a role play.
Here, I'll do regular voice. Just kind of stressed, tense. I'm pissed off.
That's fair. He looks at you and says, he doesn't say anything actually. He looks at you and observes that. He stares at that for a minute, He carries on. He looks at the rest of you. He looks at hang on. Laz is there. He looks at Laz's face, towering over the rest.
Send Mansour.
Hey? I didn't understand.
Send Mansour.
Something, Mansour? What'd you say, brother?
Send Mansour.
You say to him. Oh, okay, fair enough. He looks at this and he stares at you as you say this. He carries on with his gaze. Who else did Pasha look at? Fuck. He looks at Bjorn, stares at you, in fact, at your chest first, at the candy cane stripes. As you can see his eyes following the stripes. And then finally he looks at you, just stares at you.
Got a bit of a scowl, my jaws clenched. Can see my vein bulging slightly. I'm not happy with what's been going on. And yeah. Just ready to walk out there on my own.
He you know what? He's gonna look at this all, and he looks at Orion and says to you, "This, I believe, is up to your friends. I am willing, if they are willing. However, in my experience, Mansour," and Mansour is over to the side. He's just in his robe, and he kind of huddled over, looks over towards, and he says, "There will be violence. There will be bloodshed. Or the attempt of." And the Pasha again. "So it is, Mansour, no, huh? Sharpen my sword, Mansour, please." "It shall be done, Pasha." And he takes off, leaving the chamber a moment later.
Very well. I will return to Fazul and arrange to have a meeting in a neutral location.
Mm-hmm.
And there we will strike our revenge.
Okay, hey, before you go, he jangles about for a moment, and before you know it, here. He grabs a bunch of coinage and throws it out for you. "Take those. You find some men, you bribe them, huh? You see to it that we have some strategy set up."
I'm eyeing all those coins.
Hey, quiet. Hey!
I'll make sure I grab them. I grab them before
The Pasha looks over towards the kid. "Do something with this, huh?"
Mo, yeah, I would suggest you go get an ice cream or something.
You, hey, everybody learns one day. You go do your business, and you go do yours, huh?
I'm copying his movements.
As he looks over towards where Mansour left, he looks back towards the lot of you, and without really acknowledging your childlike motions or your annoyance towards, he simply gestures towards everybody and says, "There will be bloodshed. There will be a battle. Whatever your issues, whatever your inhibitions, and etc. I am no good at this. Just know this. Don't fuck around. There will be a fight. And if you are too busy chasing your own ass or ego, you may die for it. In my service, may I add. But I will pay for this, as is my duty. See to it that you carry yours. That is your duty." And he looks at the kid and says, "I said duty." And he walks away.
Yes, sir.
I'll hand the coins to Bjorn. I'll grab his hand and then slap it into his and make sure he gets the coins. And then I'll look him in the eye.
You be sure to find some good men with these coins. And I will do my part and arrange the location.
I'm making a mental know who has the coins.
Everyone has coins.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everyone.
Everyone has coins. You can be like Mario. You just run up to him and be like,
Yeah.
and get coins. Anyway, no.
How much?
As we're walking out.
Yeah.
Or are we walking out now? Is everybody?
I mean, you guys can be. I can throw on music for it if you like. The point is you're trying to observe who has coins. I don't know. The pasha gives a bunch of coins to somebody. Who takes the coins? I guess.
Well, I grabbed the coins and then I slapped them into Bjorn's hand.
And done.
Okay.
So, as it were, Mo sees it go into Bjorn's hand. Moving right along, you guys are leaving. Music plays. You hear it?
As I'm leaving, I'm gonna wait for everybody to go ahead of me.
Game of imagination.
Just want you all to know, well, I was on the cactus juice. I learned a new trick. Watch this.
And I'll look at the door, and I'll turn my back to the door.
As the short man lays a log, you guys pan over to show your approach towards.
I start choking.
You pass
I
out and
learned
die.
that. It was amazing. It's been such a dark day. I just wanted to show you my new trick.
I want you to know I was amazed. I was thoroughly amazed.
I'm on my knees.
But that's because of a failed save.
Did you see the way the door slammed shut right after?
So,
Amazing.
you guys are headed? You guys are headed where again? Is everybody on board?
Yeah. I'm going back to Bazools. I don't know if anybody's coming with me or if I'm just doing that.
Now it's just one dude.
You were gonna arrange the meeting, and I was supposed to track down some mercenary types.
Yeah.
Okay, throw me an investigation.
Three. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
What kind of idiots did you hire?
Yeah.
Okay,
Someone fire, please.
who's going with him?
I went with him because he has the money.
I'm with them as well.
I look at who he hired and I'm like, give me, I will solve this problem for you. Give. And I start like looking for the coins.
Okay, fair enough.
I want to inspire Bjorn.
Okay. Sort of.
Come on, surely you can find better people.
With the inspiration, I rolled a 3.
God damn, what the fuck?
Double threes.
Zero, dude.
That happens.
Zero.
I gave the one to yours because I thought it was trustworthy.
I rolled a 3 and a 0 on that one.
Like,
Oh, we're so sweet. That's gonna be fun.
Or it just takes longer, I don't know.
Like, room for the cash.
At least it wasn't a 1.
Yeah.
Did you found someone to hire, Mo?
Yeah, I'm gonna do investigation on my own to see if I can.
So it is.
See if I found any good people.
I'm sorry, somebody is helping him out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went looking for other people and I got a 13.
Oh, okay, well that's not terrible.
I went with him as well.
Okay, in that case, Laz, what are you doing there, son?
I'm just trying to catch and shut eye, knowing that something bad's coming up here. We've been working on this engine. Now there's a bunch of shit going down. Try to advise against the pasha going. So now that I know that we're about to get into some shit, I'm gonna just try and catch some Z's for as quick as I can. But like, I mean, like on top of the bus kind of thing, like, and just kind of
Fair enough,
collapsing
fair enough,
where I
fair
am and hanging out because
All right.
everyone else is off doing shit.
So, just to establish, I'm sorry, Sorth, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go with Orion to help set up the meeting.
As
So
+1.
is everybody except Laz going to set up the meeting?
No, I think those guys are looking for recruits, and that's
Yeah.
just me and Sorth going to the meet to set up to
Yeah.
arrange.
Oh,
the
sorry.
meeting.
Right. Fair enough.
Since I found the recruits, I'm gonna pocket a little bit of the money.
Oh, God.
All right.
It
Cool.
doesn't matter how much, just 1 coin is enough.
Sorry, I'm really kind of host. So, like, at the end of the day, you guys are going to the set up the meeting. That's fine. And you guys are investigating, and you guys roll the investigation, and it was a terrible
Did
roll of
Barium-
3.
Did Barium roll?
But then you guys were like, we're all helping, and I'm like trying to cogitate this, and I have an idea, but I don't want to drag things out because it's 11:15. So to be nice, here's how things go. Give me a sec. You're gonna be right. Sorry. Everyone's gonna be going towards the meeting towards. Oh shit! I'm spiraling out here. Hang on a sec.
We were
Yeah,
going
no.
to
I know
arrange
you're
the
going to
meeting
set up
with
the meeting. I'm trying to
Yeah.
think like
Yeah.
reactions here. Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Like I said, I'm host, so there's a bunch of stuff. But seriously, so in short, as you guys go to set up the meeting there, that's fine and dandy. And then I did lose the other side. Shit. And
So we're just looking for people to help. I rolled really
Right, mercenaries.
bad. Mo rolled 13.
Barium, Mo, and Bjorn.
I can't think of a way to do it. My hiccup is I can't think of a way to do it without combat. So I guess what I'm going to do there is say you simply can't find anybody that's willing to help out. That was my hiccup. Simple and dealt with. From there, I mean, really, if you can't find labor for, what did you want to do? You have the coinage. I mean, did you want to try for any other strategy there? Really?
I think could Barium make an investigation roll because he's the only one that hasn't rolled out of the 3.
Sorry, say again.
Could Barium do an investigation roll to try and find someone because he hasn't rolled?
I mean, I suppose. Why not? Sure.
You got, I believe.
D20. Roll a 23.
Like a
Nat
nat
20?
20?
And that 20.
Holy fuck! Okay.
Nice.
I'm sorry. Who are we looking for here? And you're rolling a nat 20?
Mercenaries.
Jesus
Help
Christ.
us.
Why not? As you walk into the market there, and sure as shit, you manage to actually find, amidst all other odds, the only group of dudes that's actually looking for legitimate work. And as you approach upon them, simple as anybody might appreciate, you walk up to these dudes that look like mercenaries, and you say, "Hey, you're mercenaries," and they say, "Yes, we are." And you say, "I'd like to hire you," and they say, "That sounds great." And like the whole interaction literally goes down the way you'd like it. And they say, "We typically work for this rate, but because it's been kind of dry of late, despite the complete lack of fucking mercenaries anywhere because of the glut of work, as you stare upon them blankly, they say, we'll take a cut in the pay. It's fine." And it's 20% discount. So with that said, the coinage that the pasha gave you, let's say he gave you 200 gold, 20 platinum. It ends up costing you only 12. So there, done. You have 6 mercenaries.
Shit. Alright.
Solid.
Yes, because more alcohol, that's what I need after that last episode we just had.
See, Bjorn, Mo, that's how it's done.
It's your guys' fucking problem.
This is why garage tests are great. I can bring you a burger to keep you sober.
That helps too. I literally have not had anything to eat today. But It's
Shit.
not an eating disorder. It's just because of reasons. You know, things happen during
fair
the
enough.
course. You're busy. You don't get a chance.
Yep.
So it is.
I hear
I swear
you.
to I swear to God, it's not an eating disorder. Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you at all.
I'm judging me. I'm judging. So anyway, where are we here? Is you guys have your mercenaries. You're going to set up a meeting during the same time. The meeting setting upage goes quite simply like this: is as you would imagine, you enter upon the same place, pass by the crescent pool, a little bit of a hallway. There he is, fucking arboretum, etc., etc. Sorry, a little bit of a hallway leads to the crescent room with the arboretum. He's there, spindly as fuck. He looks towards you, says, "What up?" Sorry, he says, "What up?" And you're like, "Yo, meeting," and he's like, "Okay." And so it is. You guys set a time and a place. Now the question is, what sort of place are you suggesting?
Is there a bird sanctuary in this town?
There is, in fact, a bird sanctuary. How the fuck did you know?
You said it's like Vegas, man. Vegas has got everything. So,
Bruv fucking boo.
yeah, I'm gonna suggest that we make the meeting at the bird sanctuary because he loves birds, right?
I agree. I do so enjoy that place. Your pasha, he shall be there that I can pay him.
Let us meet in, let's say, 4 hours from now.
4 hours sounds fine. And
Right, very
oddly
well.
specific.
Well, I just want to ensure we are close on time for when the next leg of the race
Of
starts.
course! And so it is. Hurry, hurry, scurry and scurry. I understand. Time is of the essence in the race. Don't you fucking hate the way he says that?
Talk to you soon, Fazul.
Indeed, my little friend. And you.
I'll take a bow and then leave with Sorth. Hopefully he doesn't eat any birds.
Oh, I was so tempted.
Fuck me too. You guys exit stage left. Well, talk to me. What do you do?
Probably collect the rest of the crew. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll meet up with the crew and the pasha and
Big class.
yeah, make sure Mansur knows. I guess not the pasha, but we'll let Mansur know that where the meeting's being held and what time.
Well, how long does your disguise last for?
1 hour.
So it's gonna be done.
Yep, I can cast it again though. You have a plan.
Good
Where do
work.
you want me to discuss you? Actually, just ask Mo.
Does it make you taller, or is it just like is that why you're asking the height?
Yeah, at least no more than 1 foot taller or shorter.
Okay, so you couldn't
Yeah, I
take
can't
over
be you.
Fazul's. Yeah, you can't be me, but you can't be Fazul either because he's like 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
Damn.
Can you cast it on other people that may be closer to 8 feet tall?
Oh shit.
Check. You check.
Need to stretch Mo out.
No.
That'd be
this
pretty
is-
cool.
The name
Oh,
is disguise self, so
You
it's
gotta-
myself only.
Disguise yourself as Rico.
Oh shit.
Wow.
He's
Wow.
gonna target me and I will die.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna go towards me.
I'll be right back.
That's our plan. We got our plan, boys.
That's actually a really good idea.
I'm gonna meet you for 1 turn until I die.
Yeah.
You said
Sounds
backup
good.
characters, right?
Man, I always make new characters, but goddamn. Okay.
I don't see the problem.
Forgot how tall Ez is.
7 foot.
Something like that, right?
Yeah, that was like 7-6.
7-6. Yeah.
Ah!
Big old bastard.
I don't remember shit, but I remember that.
Oh. This is gonna get dicey.
I'll start joking again. I almost collapsed.
Source is looking around trying to figure out where it came from.
My vision is fading.
Talk to me. What's going on?
I'm about to pass out.
Oh, you ready?
Alright.
Alright. Well, I went to tell Mansour with the deal. I'm assuming Sorth went to the group to tell them what was going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna wake up Laz, like I said, and round up the other gang.
Okay. So you're going to tell Mansour?
Yeah, I'm gonna go let Mansour know to tell the Pasha what time and where we're meeting.
Mansour gives a nod to this and says, take the Pasha with you. An escort will be more secure than a not. You walk with him, make sure he is safe.
Yes, will you be joining us, or does he have other tasks for you?
I could accompany. He thinks about this. However, I am not combat oriented. He thinks about his own brother. I could attend. It may be, as the Pasha says, fun.
Yes, indeed it could.
That guy's totally gonna die.
Mm-hmm. Well, is it? 30, what time? Yeah.
Is Mansour, so Mansour is different from the Vizier, right? Because the Vizier...
No, the Vizier is Mansour.
Okay. He's the spellcaster, right?
100%.
Okay, yeah.
That's him.
Are the mercs with us now, or are they meeting us at the spot?
Your call?
Yeah, I
With
guess
us.
it's those guys.
Okay.
Did we have
Because we
extra
didn't
time
know
after
the spot
time
at the
works?
time, so.
True.
So, all said, you guys have 6 dudes, assorted crossbowmen and, swordsmen. We'll say, if you'll permit. I do like that, 3 and 3. So it is. With that said, you guys have a bit of a journey towards your destination there. Being that it's 11 o'clock, and we're heading into a rather heavy combat with fucking mercenaries in the whole bit, I'm going to say that it shows the stern, the stern expressions of each and every one of you, and then the Pasha. As you all walk out the door into the open light, making your way up the street like it was high fucking noon, out towards your destination, for honor, for revenge, for payment, for what? And as the camera crossfades,
driver.
as the camera crossfades towards the yard, it shows the lot of you coming upon this open yard. As you enter in upon it, and you see so many individuals all around the yard look upon you and the resident master that be, that is to say, Mr. Achernash Fuzul, as he looks over towards you and gives a smile He says, "Welcome. It is my pleasure to have you here. So I ask what it is that you seek." The camera pans against each of you for the brief moment as he says this.
I believe we seek to even the debt that is due. But I will let others speak of this.
You tore one of us limb from limb. I expect to do the same to you.
Well, let's do it then.
The pasha looks around and says, "I thought this was about money." And, of course, the fellow across from you, he looks at you and says, "I am not sure what this is about. However, I am willing to entertain all manner of negotiation. Do we wish challenge of a great sort? Huh?"
It is the Pasha's death. You should be the one to decide how he receives it.
"So I think it's Pasha. Is that you?" He looks down towards, as the pasha looks up towards him and says, "Yes, that is me. Why do you speak to me like this? What is this place?" To which the fellow simply says, "It is my residence, my home, my honor to be your host," he simply says.
So Laz is going to make sure he's as close to the pasha as he can be for protection, because that's been my concern with him coming the whole time.
Okay.
And
I'm a pasha too.
I'm gonna take a couple of the crossbowmen with me and fan out a bit.
Okay. As you do this, the camera pans against you guys, showing the lot of you doing your thing, so to speak. Positioning yourselves just so, the fellow looks around the chamber and says, "It seems we have a..." Oh shit, what's the word I'm looking for?
Stand up.
Sorry, what did you say?
Stand up.
No, he was going to say an assumption of events, but now leading to standoff, as the boy says. The camera pans against his face. He's just going to look at each of you and simply say, "My excitement surmounts." Sorry, I'm just thinking about it. You guys move to the crossbowman and... As the camera pans against the whole of the scene with the arboretum and what, a couple of the birds start to squawk. The spindly fellow looks towards you all and opens his arms in an outstretched form. "I welcome this challenge." And he looks over towards Mansoor and says, "If I'm not mistaken, everyone's here, eh?"
Yeah.
Ah. He looks over towards Mansoor and says, "I did not expect to see you here ever again." To which Mansoor says, "I did not think I'd have support for it." From there, the camera's going to do a quick cut against each of your faces, showing your expressions of whatever they might be, and then cut to black. Now we're going to pick this one up next session. And it's going to be a long fucking combat. And maybe you get a driver out of it. But I kind of fucking doubt it. But we have hopes.
2 for 2 for Laz.
God damn it, Bjorn.
Hey, somebody keep an eye on Rico. Rico's dead. Hey, we should really find a driver. Driver's dead. I'm fucking dead.
We should protect the pasha. Oh wait.
So,
Hey, let's go get the name of the driver from this guy and make him think his debt's paid and then kill him. Bjorn, let's kill him.
I mean, it's,
I don't think the driver would help.
that was exactly how to what I was planning.
Damn it.
I think Bjorn's just hungry for blood.
Gary would be proud.
It's like, hey, we have a problem. Let's kill them.
all of them.
Bjorn the beak proof.
Hopefully.
So, with that, gentlemen, get my notes here straight. Sorry.
Oh man.
This should be fun.
Kind of intense moment, yeah.
Yep. It was fun.
So, with this intensity at play, we have a little bit of a battle on our hands coming next session. My question is, was it necessary?
No.
Well, I didn't want an answer.
Ever?
Totally facetious. But was it necessary? Anyway, doesn't need to be answered. I don't think it'll ever really be answered, save for next session when there will be a great pummeling, I'm sure. But in the meantime, Mr. Dobransky, would you like what you first least?
I like that we got more of a backstory on Rico, and that he was actually like this great driver and everything. And then even a little bit more of the underground of the city itself, where it has the two different sides. That was cool.
Right on, thank you, man.
I'm kind of interested to see what Mansoor actually plays in this, because you kind of hinted that they knew each other before. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
Right on, man. Cool. And Alex, would you like what was your first least? Can't remember the last one for the life of me.
Yeah, I like the way that the city got built up, and that little bit at the end where Mansoor kind of hinted that he had a reason to want revenge, or at least knew him and had a bone to pick was an interesting note to end off on. It's got my curiosity piqued.
Well, did you guys notice that at the beginning, Mansoor said, "No, I will not." Okay, well, maybe I can. It will be fine. You know, so
Yeah.
just to add to that.
There's something there.
But right on. I'm glad to hear that. Right on. That's cool, actually.
I'm glad I asked him, because, like, god damn.
Kalimshan, it has a deep history. Ah, welcome to the desert sands, my friend. And so it is. Cody, tell me, what do you like the most of tonight's session? And if I like your answer, perhaps you have my sister tonight, huh? Anyway, so, as it were, dude, what up?
Whoa.
Would you like what you was released? Keep it on track, pervert. What are you talking about?
I love. There's too much to like in this. I don't know. It just felt like.
You were the star of the show tonight? Yeah, a little bit, but, you know, it was what it was.
Well,
You put yourself in that position, so... Much to the chagrin of me and the other characters, goddammit. I did my best, everyone. I did my best, but seriously.
You did a really good job, to be honest. Like, I
No. Seriously. Would you like what you
I'm just like how I really like how it like built up really slowly. Like it turned into like, okay, I'm tracking this down, and then I get to Fazul, and it's like boom, like you just dropped a bomb on us. I did not see that coming. Then I thought it was the Dragors, like hands down.
For real, eh? The whole way through,
yeah.
Okay.
Like I thought it was just sticking to the old school plot line, revenge, Dragors, blah blah blah. But no, you drop this Fazul bomb on us, and then we find out that he's like this sponsor who's pissed off at Rico. Like that was mind blowing to me. Anyways, I really enjoyed that.
There's a whole other level to this too. Like there is.
Yeah, I really like how it's turning into like this bigger picture. Like oh shit, like Dragors aren't the only danger out here. Like there's other shit going on that we don't know about that could affect our race.
Tell him, Sean, of a deep is there now. Let me tell you, brother.
So
Watch
I
out.
didn't really. There's nothing that I didn't really like. It was a solid session.
Fair enough. Ricker, what up, brother? What'd you like, James Released?
So I like the introduction of Fazul and the ties between him and Rico and him and Mansoor. I like all of that. I also, alongside Cody, I thought it was Dragors, or maybe an existing group we already knew about. I liked how you structured everything to where like it seemed like we all had a place to give our own 2 cents into the situation while we were learning about what was going on. Because at the very beginning, as far as like I go, like I thought that Rico was murdered based off some old debt or something like that. I didn't think it was petty at the start, but it turned out to be very petty.
At the end of the day, eh?
Yep.
That's a damn shame too. But there's more to it. There's so much more to it. And so it is. Benny boy, what'd you like with James Released?
I like cactus juice.
Who doesn't fucking like cactus juice? I fucking love the cactus juice. Thank you. At least somebody respects art. It's hard to represent a good high. I mean, they do such a great job in like Fear and Loathing and whatnot. When you're trying to do it in literary, man, it can be a bitch. Unless you really experienced it, I think.
Unless you're really high, then you can really get in there.
Yeah, not currently, but I have to. Point being, I'm good at describing it. I think I'm decent at it. But point being, Benny, you're the one describing what you like.
Yeah. I also liked how the fight's gonna play out because I really thought that I would convince you all with my amazing plan. But this way works too because I still get to kill people.
All right.
Okay, Gary.
What the hell?
Tendencies.
I thought we left Gary in the crater. What happened there?
Remember that?
Right on. Anything else?
I kind of regret not sleeping because I have very little, or not that much of slots left, spell slots.
Oh.
So,
fair.
my really powerful ones, not that. I'll only be able to kill one person with it, maybe 2 if they're really close.
Do you need a long rest for those?
Yeah, long rest, I think. 8 hours.
Oh yeah, we didn't wait that long.
I was too busy fucking with you guys, so.
I mean, you're a teenage kid.
Which is in character.
I'm not teenage. I'm 12 years old.
Oh, okay.
Teenage.
You're not even teenage. God damn. What the hell are you doing out here? Where's your parents?
I'd just be talking like this all the time.
I proffered a theory about that earlier today on the Discord.
That's right. Yeah, I saw that.
And with that, finally, Sean again, my man, what'd you like James Released?
No, it was good. All the different layers that are in there are changing things up. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to get Laz more involved in the decision part and try and just let him kind of go with his gut. Like, can't really expound upon why he feels like there's a problem, but trying to drag Mansoor's because I don't think Laz tries. Like every time Laz just doesn't get a good feeling around that man. But I think finding those little pockets to try and kind of trying to work in his character, but it is frustrating being like, this is what Laz would do. Like Laz would be there just to lift shit. Like until crap goes down, like all right, we have to go do this. Like but he was working for the pasha beforehand, so that's kind of been his gig. Like this is kind of a side.
You know something? Right? The Hulk is an equal part of the Avengers. Let me tell you. Don't ever discount the Hulk's role. Ever.
He doesn't make any of the choices, but he's there to smash.
But if I could find the gift, I would send that out to everybody. You
know what the truth is? Sometimes he is there for the choices. It's just when he's a smart self for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And that's where you got to find yourself. You got to find your smart self in the framework, I guess. Wherever that may
like I said, 2 for 2.
Yeah.
2 for 2
I
on
thought
the game.
I
we
thought
don't
the
do this.
session
It's not
went
going to
really
go
well.
out well for us.
Is your character changing right before our eyes?
Grow. You know.
What kind of story would it be
most of
without
he's
a
learned
growth
that
arc?
keeping his mouth shut is leading him to almost getting killed alive.
Like, really now?
I think it's all the time he's spending with Barry.
That could be it too. Because every time it's like, hey, we're gonna fight over being second in line at the taco stand, Laz is just like, what the fuck?
So I like the pacing throughout the session. I thought it worked out surprisingly well. Although I will admit, during the whole course of the session, I just felt like I was at the verge of losing control. This was a really challenging session. And not because of the alcohol. I mean, I'm a functional alcoholic, so I'll have you know that although the memory loss is problematic at the end, but that's after immense amounts of it, so that doesn't really count. The point is that I found this really challenging in delivering so many viewpoints, in such a balanced amount, I suppose is really the way to term it. And that is to say, everybody has a limelight, everybody deserves an equal amount, and then Orient had an exceptional amount. I understand that. The fact is that we needed somebody to kind of be the vector for the story to move forward, if you will. So that was what was addressed there. So that's fine. I had hoped desperately that we would get enough of the story accomplished, but there is a lot, and it feels almost like Game of Thrones at times, where it's like it just it's not necessarily drag ass. It's just there is a lot to get through, and so I will admit that it feels really good to get through the exposition that we do, but at the same time I feel a hefty amount of guilt when we don't get through the combat. But at the same time, I have to remind myself that it's okay, Lily. It's okay. You had an intensely gonzo fucking race session just a moment ago where everybody had a goddamn worm flopping about on top of their fucking race bus. It's okay. Their V16 is being fixed currently while you chill the fuck out on a murder mystery. It's all right. So...
And next episode we get Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as you don't season 8 us, we're good.
Yeah, no, I don't intend to do that. You know why? Because I'm not gonna
just shit the bed right
fucking just suddenly outsource my story. So these two guys on Reddit are gonna write the last 8 episodes of my game.
We come here on a Monday. It's not even duly DMing. It's some guy from like Wisconsin. Like, hey, my name's Willie.
You know what? From the folks that I've known of Wisconsin, like if I could get Mike Zaklasa to come out and fucking DM my shit, oh my god, I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows who that is, but that'd be an immense fucking honor. Even if he came out to play it, like fucking just drink. Fellow alcoholic rolling dice. Yes. Anyway, point is, that'd be amazing. That'd be incredible. Fucking internet celebrity stardom in my hut. Yes, please.
There you go.
But no, I like the, like I say, I like the pacing of it. I thought, everything was delivered well. I had an idea of how things were going to go. Again, of course, D&D happened. Everything went the way it did, which was not the way I expected. And so I thought I did pretty good with that. Hence why I say it was very much a challenge to deliver a sort of experience to all you, it was a balanced, and, delivered what it needed to, in terms of the arc and providing an experience equally amongst all of you. And so pat on my back for that. I'm glad everybody had as much fun as you guys
much
did.
on the fly.
Honestly, this had an arc, and I mean, like, I knew who killed Rico and why. That's what I knew. And nobody went to the bordello.
No. Well, because as soon as I found out that this guy killed Rico, I was like, shit, I can't just sit on this.
Yeah, but there's like a whole other level of the mystery. Like, you have no idea why he's pissed.
Red Harry.
You're like,
you're
like, you know that this guy's pissed. That's the thing. You know that this guy's pissed. You have actually no idea why. You just know that he. And the truth is, I'll mention, it was mentioned. It was in fact mentioned. His true motivation in all this. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Total meta thing. yo, there's another
trophy?
level of this.
Is it the trophy getting stolen or something? Did Rico
They
steal
never
that?
found
It's after the session
It's a
anyway.
secret. The trophy is a woman.
Yeah, no shit, eh?
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Bye. It's fine. Oh, God, help me! Help! Help me!
Hey, you should just use that as a worm.
Ah.
Like a GoPro view of a worm.
Don't ask Julie for a GoPro view of a worm. You're not gonna get it.
Oh, yeah, no. Never
Yeah, you
mind.
will. It'll be from the bottom of my fucking lake here in town. Along with the other $500 that was stolen. I've lost $1,000 worth of fucking GoPros to this fucking valley. I'll have you know. 2 people in this fucking... No, sorry. 1 person in this valley has a brand new fucking GoPro to their fucking name. Fuck that person. Okay? And the other GoPro is at the bottom of the goddamn lake. In the deepest part. That was the clincher. That was the real clincher. Buddy's like, hey, yeah?
Dion has a boat now.
I know. Of course he does.
Fucking right, so we got on the boat.
But I was going to say, no, fucking, when I lost the GoPro, I had a guy reach out to me. He's like, hey, I can help you fish it out. Where'd you lose it? I was like, here, this is the GPS fingerprint. He's like, cool, can't do it. It's literally the deepest part of the lake. I was like, sweet.
Ogopogo's got a GoPro now.
God, it was terrible. Yeah, literally. The Ogopogo has a GoPro. He's all doing flips and shit, showing off. Fucking, that's a commercial waiting to happen right there.
Sending it to the Loch Ness.
Right?
Right.
I'm sure they have some sort of network. Some intranet. OgoNet, I don't know. OgoGo. Loco, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, like I say, it was a good session all in all. Did everybody have fun?
Yeah, very much so.
As always.
I can't hear
leading up to a
you.
big battle.
Hmm?
I'm actually kind of glad that we're starting with the battle, because then we won't cut halfway through it. And...
Yeah.
I honestly like sessions when they're battle-centric, roleplay-centric. Battle-centric, it keeps things simple.
Yeah, totally.
When you have
Totally.
the ideal session, though, I will say, and this has happened, believe it or not, is roleplay with 3 battles inside of 4 hours.
Inside of 4 hours?
I have done that. It's
high
amazing.
speed, everything.
It's just these sporadic combats where you have everybody having their own combats mixed in with everybody else's roleplay. It's just.
I know we with the Waterdeep, we've done 2 battles in one, but that took fucking 5-6 hours.
Have we ever even had a 5-6 hour session? We've had 5-hour sessions, I want to say.
I think we've had a 5-hour session, yeah.
I think we've had 5
But there was 2 battles in that one for sure, I'm pretty sure.
The longest
smaller
session.
one and then a big one.
What's the longest session of D&D you've ever had? Come on, what's the longest session of D&D?
I don't know.
ever
I was asleep for half the problem.
had? You know what? I'll do you one better. Actually, you know what? Just to make you feel better about this, Sean. I'll tell you about this one fellow. He once upon a time he comes to game. He was a stalwart fellow. Honestly, he's the one built the table. Amazing fellow, 100%. And he was hosed. He was hosed this night. And he was like, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm here. What did I get? All right. Do I hit him? Okay.
Oh god.
Okay, roll. I'm gonna roll. This is bad.
See, now I don't feel so bad.
Puking in a bucket and rolling that knees.
What did I roll? It was bad, man. But he made it through the session, technically. Technically. Poor guy. He had fucking work ethic and then some. To his detriment, I guess. But I don't demand that of people. If you're that done, you're that done. I understand. It's okay. I've been there frequently. So it's totally understandable.
Well, luckily I've cut down the offenses since the beginning.
Oh yeah, very good.
All in all, I look forward to the next session. The combat promises to be weird.
Doozy.
Yeah, to say the least. I didn't actually expect. I honestly didn't expect combat with this guy at all. I just thought it'd be a bunch of interesting shit and potentiality, and people are like, "Oh, what is he capable?" and move along. But okay, I'm all for.
God damn, Bjorn.
Have a race team
How
without a
hard is it
team.
gonna be?
And the
Bjorn the
Pasha and
Bloodthirsty.
Mansoor are there.
That's his new name.
So I mean, when there's a like the thing is when there's a potential for a TPK, it's like you guys have a potential for a team total kill. It's like you guys have brought the team owner in here, and they're like, yeah, and he's like, Schwink, I'm gonna beat some ass, and they're like, shh. I mean, no, I said too much, but the point being, it's all bad. So it's not even like, you know, people die and I can be like, well, Mansoor hires new people. No, the whole race team comes to a crashing halt. And that
We're self-funded now.
Yeah,
And
see,
that-
I was hoping that we would win the fight. And then
We'll
just
see-
take
we'll
over
see where this
the
goes.
Crimson Horn.
we'll see where this goes. I'm hoping you win the fight too, Sean. I'm hoping
Yeah.
you win the fight too.
Let's try to protect the pasha with our lives.
I hope you took good fucking notes of this.
Enough for that.
Seriously.
I think that's what he needs by your total party kill. We're probably all gonna have to give up for that one.
I mean, there's a great potentiality for all sorts of badness here. I'm not gonna lie, boys.
Yeah.
But I hope you took good notes.
I took as many as I could.
Because I'm pretty hosed. I'm going to have to review this. So I'm going to have good notes too after I review this fucking session.
You
And
all
I'm
said it.
embarrassed by my conduct, I'm sure, while I'm at it. But I appreciate you all. This has been a fantastic session, I feel like, in terms of mystery and roleplay and whatnot, and you tracking down detectiving and whatnot. I feel pretty good about it all in all. I'm glad everybody had fun. As a side note, you'll never guess. This was funny to me. The frame, as a matter of fact, I threw a car kit on it, and so there's a magnetic plate there, and so now it just kind of does this,
Oh
and
shit!
bam, ever so easily. Wow, ever
There
so
you
strong.
go.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
awesome.
Yeah, it really works.
Cool.
So as you might imagine, no more Play-Doh issues.
Nice.
So that is terrific stuff, all in
Now
all.
hopefully I survive to use it.
All in all, I think that's a really cool thing. Yeah. So that's all that she wrote. Until next time, it's been my pleasure to be your dungeon master, your entertainer, and your host. Until next we meet, may your 20s always land on 20 with the fashion and passion and pleasure of my plethora of players, the palette of personalities that you are. I thank you. Have a good night, all.
What are we
Good
getting for
night.
experience?
Oh, fine.
yeah.
Fuck. Every time with the experience, you whiny bastard. I guess this time you can also have 600 experience because you guys tracked down through the thing and were patient enough to deal with all the role playing. Next session, we'll see how you do in the combats.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers.
Hey,
And until next
This is going
week,
terrible.
love you
Who said they
all.
don't do that? I sent you a
Goodbye.
waterproof,
Hey,
roll-up, flexible silicone keyboard.
why should I put a flexible key? I like replacing keyboards. I keep
Literally-
getting new ones that way.
Literally cannot get it right enough.
Every time I spill booze into a keyboard,
what?
an angel gets its
Good night.
wings. I'm sure that's how it works. I'm totally sure that's what it's all about. Are you enjoying these? Are you enjoying these online sessions? I have to ask. Benny boy, Cody.
Yeah, I love it, bro.
All right.
That's good stuff, man.
You know, sometimes I
mean,
wonder.
Like I said, the garage is the best, but the online sessions are terrific as well, and they've gotten better and better and better, like as you've gone on.
Well, I mean, when it comes to the online sessions, I always feel like I have a better focus on things, to be quite frank. I always feel like I have a better grip on what everybody's doing in the game rather than the interactions person to person. Okay, bye, Ben. Okay, good talk. It's good, you know. Glad to have you along.
I think he's got exams.
That's fair enough, actually. You know, he's got to be the brainiac doing his thing for the good of all mankind, becoming a smarter person so that we can all advance. That's the important thing, right? I mean, I'm all for that personally. Seriously, it's better than I'm doing. What am I doing? I'm sitting around being an asshole. You fail and shit. Like, come on, man. So yeah, D&D's been good. I mean, I want to do some Waterdeep at some point and finish out that with what's his pickle. Dion's like done on D&D, so he's like, no, I got other things to do, like, you know, drive my boat.
Yeah, he lives a busy life, and he's having a kid now. So.
Yeah, well, whatever. That's in like 9 months. What is he gonna do right now? Like, I've had come on. You've had kids. What are you talking about? Oh, he's gonna have a kid. So. What's he gonna do now?
That's right.
What's going on now? Rebecca's got nothing to do now. No one's got anything to do now. True. I mean, everyone's got everything to do, but like everyone's got life to enjoy right now. I mean, that's what they're doing. Let's be honest.
I think everybody's just
grudge on
for the in-person session again.
Yeah.
I know Aaron really wants to. Yeah.
Yeah, those are always fun.
Waterdeep.
I have to say, the Crystal Strahd, like I say, the Crystal Strahd sessions have been going well. I've been running some good stuff there too. But all in all, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the in-person sessions when we can, you know, look at each other face in the face. And I can say to you, yes, Volger's dances with the passion of a dancer. Let me feel you. And I can feel you right there. I'll be like, yes, I feel the dancing passion.
You can dance with me.
I bask in it. Like you were just like you had a fire extinguisher full of passion that you were just spraying it out. There's a visual. Yeah. It'd be pink, I guess. Fun, I don't know. I imagine passion is pink.
I really like that group too.
No, ever since it was assembled, like it's been a lot of fun. But the reason that it's lasted as long is because of the passion that everybody has for working together. And this, I can attest, this is not meant to be cheesy, but it's very much the truth, is that if you don't have people working together, you have nothing. And that's the thing about this session. And that's, I'll be honest, something I often worry about when it comes to the mix of chemistries. And oddly enough, it kind of works the way Benny works against everybody in a fashion, because believe it or not, it works with while it works against. It's weird, but it works in service to the story after a fashion, and I think he's cognizant of that. He's a very smart individual.
He's playing into it for sure.
He's thoroughly cognizant of it, so I appreciate that about it. So it's multi-leveled, the role play that's occurring in the game, and I very much appreciate how everyone ties into it. It's a bitch though sometimes, just making sure that everybody's a place, you know. And so I guess what I really appreciate is the way people lean into specific roles, and I think I'm doing better at picking up on that, more so online especially. And I think Sean could attest to this, having been one of the first long-term gamers that I had with me there was online, is when I was recruiting people from Reddit. He came online for my original Hunters campaign. That was my original online only, and I would look at and say it was my first perfectly start to finish achieved storyline. Like, there it was. Like, this is what happened once upon a time in history, you know.
Yeah.
And I want to achieve that again. I'm looking forward to that with this campaign. I think there's a great deal of potential for a lot of cool adventure, obviously, you know. Doing different references like to the Mummy and shit especially is such that I haven't gotten to yet. I don't know, what is it that you're looking forward to in this sort of campaign? What is it that you look forward to? Like, what do you say? One? Yeah. What do you say? Oh, I hope this happens.
I think you're already kind of doing it with expanding on the interrelationships of the people that we're involved with, and because there's a huge unknown there, right? And I kind of I really like the one thing I was hoping with this one, which has already kind of happened, was the backstory, because for me personally, when I make a character, I like to build the backstory out because I feel like that can be a really useful tool into creating more stories and branching off from there. And in the Waterdeep one, for instance, I worked on that backstory just because I was like, at that point, I had no idea how you ran games and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, who
And still, it
is
was a good
Voldros?
backstory.
How did Voldros get here? And then with this one, it's okay, Orion. It's not just like what abilities does he have and who's he now? It's who was he? How did he get to where he is now?
Right.
Building that out, because then it's like you can have your main story, but then who knows? You get to the end of that story, oh shit, here's a turn. Your past is coming back to bite you, or whatever. Something happens. Oh, now you can take off on another direction, or maybe it leads to a crossover game. Like if that group's done and you start another session, now there's a crossover of this character from this campaign crossing over to another one due to their backstory or something. Like it makes it intertwines different stories really nicely. Like I think it's a really cool way of doing it. And I know you've definitely dived into some of those details with my characters, so been happy with that.
Do you know what the truth is? I hate to admit this, and you're gonna hate me for this. And I'm not saying this is a point of ego, but just a point of like feeling people out as I go. I've never read your backstory.
That's fine. I kind of hint at it too because I want other.
That's what I've written on. I've never read anybody's backstory, and everyone's gonna be like, "What an asshole!" And rightly fucking so. I am an asshole. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's still good for it. It's part of writing it is to tell me like what if somebody asks, "Oh, where did you come from?" Like in character.
That's
and you're like, "Oh, this."
Thank you. Actually, yes, like thoroughly. I play my end of things, and I am hugely of the philosophy that I don't want to know about your character. I want to know how you represent your character, and my people in my world are gonna represent your character. How they will, based on my motivations that me as Dungeon Master imagines in my world. Now, you are interpreting my world, free to ask me of the world, free to suggest things upon the world based on your understanding of the world. That's the democratic part of it. And of course, I'm going to react upon that and provide, whatever feedback, and we're going to roll dice to.
And you're going to learn things about my character through
100%, yeah, exactly.
World, right?
And within my world, and so those roots get established and weave as they will, and so it behooves the both of us to address those. And so, I mean, it is how I see the world should be, is that I'm portraying the world, and you're portraying yourself within it, so to speak. I'm not going to know my people, my characters and everything aren't going to know anything about that. I want to know about your motivations as a character. Absolutely. I totally want to know about that as a Dungeon Master. But at the same time, in this campaign specifically, my dungeon mastering role is to provide the specific objective of getting the party as a whole, with the pasha and the vizier and the whole of the gang, into the great race, and as part of the great race, on through the great race, and to whatever fate may deem. But that's really like the point of the storyline, if you will. Like that's what I'm delivering, is the storyline of like this up and comer quest of glory to be the great racers that are and rise above and take, and yeah, baby, we're gonna be number one, and so forth. So, therein is this point and purpose upon the party, to which they're gonna deliver. What can I say? Their motivations within that framework coming upon the culmination of such a story, and into the next chapter we go. Whatever you do during it. This is where the story is going. Every player does their thing. We move on through episode after episode, and eventually we reach whatever point we do. Me as Dungeon Master, I just work here. You guys are doing your own thing. I fucking love the way that everybody is feeding into it. Everybody has a very distinct sense of who they are in this story and how they feed into it. In every session, no matter how everybody is to be portrayed, everybody leans in on that. They have an identity, and what I've found so far, through the months that we've played, is that I have a good way of feeding that, and everybody receives that well. Excuse me, and reciprocates that, and I think that's really good, really good as a group dynamic, not a party dynamic, but a group dynamic. So I'm very happy and proud of that. So, yeah. Anyway, we have talked at length. It's late. It's almost fucking midnight. Sorry to keep you up. I should probably let you go. But it was a good session. Yeah, absolutely.
Solid session.
Absolutely.
Look forward to the next one.
Right on.
As
Next
always.
week. Cheers. Been a pleasure. We'll see you next week. When are you going to Dungeon Master for me is my question. Once upon a time you were going to, as you were telling everybody the last session, so let's hear about it.
Well, if that's something you actually want to do, I'm totally down.
I think the real question is if it's something you want to do. Now, let me tell you something. If you want to DM, it doesn't have to be here, but if you want to DM here, you can totally use my facilities and be guest DM on the channel and do the thing. I'm totally down with that. 100%.
All right. Let me think about that.
But that's totally your call. Now, if you don't want to do that, it can totally be like offline, private, etc. But if it's whether it's online or offline, if it's around people that we know, it can be an issue. Because people often regard me career DM that I am whenever the DM, guest DM that they are, says anything. Which can be just a natural psychological issue. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I'll think about that. A question about that, actually. Like, if would you recommend, like, first DMing session, would you recommend making up something of my own, or should I look up like a pre-built one and like just go with that to start?
That's tough, actually. So it, to be honest, depends on how much the writer you are. If you wanna test your chops, make something very simple, like very simple. Something I loved actually was, and I think I posted it in my Instagram, DMing ideas from a 4-year-old. And they were the cheesiest shit, but they were good. Actually, they were all very good. And I say cheesy because some of them were like modern day stuff mixed in with whatever, right? But, oh goodness, it can be anything really. Like the innkeeper is trying to figure out why his livestock is dying. And it turns out that the goblins in the hills are pissed that he didn't pay his bribe for... Actually, I'm getting really complicated now. This is more my level of story, where the goblins are pissed off because the innkeeper did something to wrong them. You know what I mean? Promised them his daughter, and then it was like, fuck you, and killed their shaman. And they didn't see it coming, and now they have no shaman, and they're pissed off, and so they're poisoning his shit because they can't do whatever they gotta do. And it could be something cruel even. If you want to get next level about it, you'd be like, oh, they can't, I don't know, they can't survive underground because they can't purify their water because their shaman's dead because buddy, da-da-da-da-da. So it turns out the innkeeper's the bad guy, right? So, I don't know, that's my level of it, but, it's up to you, like, whatever you want to do that way. If you want to create, like, a little thing like that. Like, you think about what I did with tonight's session it's this small encapsulated adventure of 2 sessions in my world, right? And then, if you wanted to do your own little like standalone published, I was just looking at something like Weekend at Strahd's, which is Curse of Strahd whittled down to 4 hours.
Short and sweet. Okay.
Oh, incredibly
Just to
so.
test it, yeah.
Yeah, like incredibly so.
Okay.
I haven't actually read it or played it either, so
Okay.
it would be an immense pleasure. But
But,
there are other options too. Sorry?
Do you, just for like your DMing material, like the monster guides and stuff, do you just buy that through D&D Beyond, or is that
100%, yeah. I mean, I have all the books here. I have
Okay.
all the
Yeah,
books
'cause
here.
I have some books here, but they're like, I think they're I don't know, they're old. They're like 10 plus years old.
Oh, they're old books. Like
Yeah, they're like edition
4th edition
5
and
or
shit.
something. I can't remember.
You mean
but
4th edition?
Yeah.
Because 5th edition is current edition. Previous
Oh,
edition is 4th
Maybe
edition.
it's 3.5 or
If
4.
they're-
Yeah, they might have been 4th edition.
If they're 0.5, they're 3.5.
Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I have, 3.5 then.
You have 3.5. They're fantastic books.
Yeah.
But they have
It's
they have
just
no
not
correlation to current rules, but they're fantastic books and fantastic rule sets all the same. 100%.
I have a full set of that.
Yeah.
That's given to me.
That's
so.
good shit. 100%
Huh.
good shit.
And if I did this, would you want to play as a player? Would you be
Yeah.
down?
I can be down.
Yeah.
100% can be down.
All right.
I do enjoy moonlighting as a player
Yeah.
on the odd occasion that I get the chance.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let me think about that. Because I'm going to take a couple months off after my online schooling here is done at the end of the month. So
Cool.
maybe that's something I'll do over the summer, just once in a while. Give it a shot.
Think hard and long.
Yeah. Definitely.
But point being, I promise not to be a bad player, as it were.
Oh, no. Yeah. It's all good.
one of those folks is like, haunted house, hire everybody in town. What do you mean? I have 25 gold. Look up the economy. I did this. This is a thing. There's a published adventure for like a haunted house by a
Is this
lake.
the one that you sailed off into the sea or something?
That's the one. I
Rolled
told you
down the
about
hill
that.
into
Yeah,
the sea or
I'm quite proud. I don't play often for a reason. So I hired out everybody in town. We uprooted the house and floated it into the lake.
I mean, that's hilarious, but
Problem
Now-
solved. House couldn't
As a
curse
DM,
anybody.
As a DM, if somebody were doing that, would you just straight up not allow it, or would you have some sort of twist in there to turn something?
If I were DMing it, I'd laugh my fucking ass off for a while. First off, not a word of a lie. I thoroughly would laugh my ass off. God, I didn't even know, to be honest.
Would you just be like, oh, well, when you moved the house, there was an ancient crypt buried under the house, and like.
See,
play
it was a
out there?
published thing, so it's whatever's there, right? First and foremost, the reactions have to be sensible within that framework for me personally as a DM. I look at
Yeah.
that and say, okay, what's here? And if it's
Yeah.
if it's literally some holy ground that has just been torn the fuck apart, and like 90% of it floated into the water over yonder, I have a tough time with that personally. I don't know how to quantify that. So I look at that and say, okay, spirits are pissed, first and
Yeah.
foremost, but now they're tied to this place that's literally been floated into the fucking water. So they're more pissed, but they're over there.
Yeah, angry
So,
water spirits now.
They're like, and you're like, well, that sucks for you, like, but I'm over here and you're there, and you're like, and I'm still here. So, life's good and
yeah.
not so good, and
Mission,
unlife not
quest
so
complete.
good. Exactly.
Check that one off.
And that's what I'm saying is that
Use
at
your
the end of the
reward.
day, I think honestly, I would say, well, the fishermen are pissed, but they learn to avoid the area, and life goes on until the next batch of adventurers who happen to be merfolk and solve the problem for good. I don't know, like that would make sense. But that would be about the end of it for me. I think when it came down to it, I just abandon it like that and say, okay, next adventure, please. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just
That's.
like,
I will be honest
clearly you
though.
don't want to do this one, so
I find personally, and you'll find this with a lot of my adventures in general, is that political challenges and interpersonal difficulties and whatnot, those are my jam. Those are the challenges that I like to present to people, are these sort of personal moments where everybody has to overcome for whatever it might be, like a moral decision, emotional, etc. I fucking love emotional decisions when people have to overcome themselves.
Like today was a huge, like Bjorn was driving the bus there with his emotions. He was pushing the decisions with his seek of revenge, you know, and everybody's kind of torn, like, well, do we do this or do we not? And then this is one sentence, and now we're forced into another situation. It's like, oh, okay.
100%. It's true. Actually, 100% it's true. And it is a difficult circumstance, one after the next. And you know what? The truth is you guys are dragging your boss into it now and everything like that. It's really, like I say, it's presented a serious situation where, despite the fellow being whatever challenge he may or may not be, you are putting yourself in a risky situation.
Yeah, it's a critical fun story.
As a group. And so, yeah, it is. It becomes this super critical moment where everyone has to be like, oh shit, what have we done? Are we ready for this?
Is this really what we should be doing?
And I'm down with that, but right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. Right on, brother. All
right.
Right on. Cheers for chatting. And here's to next week or the next Waterdeep session, whichever it might be, whichever they are.
Yeah, I'm trying to work that out with Trevor and Aaron because they both work at the same place, so it's kind of.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. So.
Well, whenever we get it scheduled.
Working on it for sure, but and when we can do in-person sessions again, I'd like to do just a group painting thing if we.
Oh fucking A! I'd love to. I got tons of minis.
Paint, right?
Oh god, I got shit tons.
Yeah, because I think our group's gonna order a bunch of minis for the Waterdeep.
That'd be cool. Going over them and just painting a bunch up.
Boldros, and I'm gonna get Aaron to make Aaliyah, and I think Grace and Alex already made their characters, so we're gonna get an order in, and then we're thinking we could all just once everything's.
Mikasa Sukasa. You know me. I give no shits. It's fine.
Yeah.
I had it. I'm immune. I'm good.
Fun social thing to get back into it, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, totally. God forbid.
Yeah. I think we're almost there, so.
Cheers.
It's all good. But yeah, we'll talk soon.
We'll catch you later, brother.
Have a good night.
Take care of yourself. We'll catch you later.